Well,
Okay, everyone can say hi, hey then. To no one in particular, because this isn't Storm King's Thunder.
Ew.
welcome everyone. Welcome to the second session of Shadowrun. We've so far introduced a few of our characters and done a little bit of a preliminary exercise to introduce the world, introduce some of the characters, and we'll complete that today. That's how we'll begin, by introducing the other two characters that we didn't get to last year for relatively short, simple, thematic introduction to the world of Southeast Asia in the year 2073 or 2075. Not entirely sure. Maybe I just haven't made a decision. Partly that's because I'm not entirely smack bang on the canon, and I hate to say, look, it's 2075, and then people are like, oh, so the Great Technomancer Revolution has already happened, and now Technomancers are in charge of the government. Yeah, fuck, whatever. I don't know. Sure. So the point being, it's the Matrix 2.0 era. That's the main thing. That means that the Matrix was destroyed through an act of terrorism by an organization called Winter Knight and some other allies. And society experienced an incredible breakdown for a while, but it's rebuilding from that. And it rebuilds in a bit of a hardware fashion. Matrix 2.0 is still a cybernetic cloud system, but we return to the past and things like decks become a little bit more prominent. Hard drives become used again. Basically, people lose their complete political ethereal system and start doing things the old experiencing.
Hello?
I hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought the Discord died or something.
Not sure. Arctic was saying he's on his broadband.
All right. So I've uninstalled the various programs that might disturb us. I've switched over to mobile, which doesn't give quite as good a connection, but it's a more reliable connection. So anyway, we're back in action. We'll begin today by examining a little bit of a history of the two characters that we didn't get to last week, and then we'll get on with the show. So without further ado, let's introduce the two new characters. We'll start with you, Carrick. Tell me a little bit about your character and what brings them to Bangkok.
Well, my character, his name is Fenway. He's an elven spellcaster, and his family originates from Wales, but he lived most of his life in London. He was training up to join his family in the world of high stakes negotiators. But he dabbled in spellcraft and earned himself a mentor, much to his family's disapproval. Eventually, the mentor's this type of work isn't good for you spiritually. You need to leave, and he left for Bangkok.
Perfect.
And his family pretty much cut off all ties with him.
So, what are your specialties? What will you bring to the table? What job will you be hired for?
Well, because of his training, like from his family, he's a pretty good negotiator. He's quite charismatic, but he's also pretty good at summoning creatures and performing spellcraft.
All right, all right. Well, there's a lot of tension in Thailand at the moment. Some people are talking that there might be yet another military coup. Coups happen here about every 5 or 10 years, and people are beginning to predict that the next coup is just around the corner. In order to diffuse this situation, the powers that be are sending people out for particular roles to try to pour a hose on things, cool things down, and prevent the tinder keg from erupting. Your job is to go to a political rally and make sure that things don't get out of hand. Um, Being a foreigner, it's not up to you to try to convince the Thais how to be Thais. That's their own business, right? Um, But your job is to go there and just make sure that things don't explode. Okay, so you got that?
Just let them do what they want to, just as long as they're not killing each other.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Don't let things get out of hand. All right. So you've got your job now. The task. It's a hot day. It's humid. It's always hot. It's always humid when it's not raining, at least. And uh, you'll be spending the afternoon only a few kilometres away from the centre of town, only a few kilometres away from the government buildings. Basically, there's a cordoned off area. They've got military, they've got tanks and soldiers with assault rifles, they've got drones, they've got everything that they need to make sure that the people stay, I guess, oppressed, for want of a better word. How do you get to your job?
He doesn't have a lot of money, so he probably just walked.
Walking is a hell of a thing to
But he
do.
could probably have
Um,
gotten a taxi or something as well, if he needed to get there quickly.
Perfect. Excellent. They have these things called tuk-tuks over there, and a lot of them are
Yeah,
automated,
they're
but
great.
most of them are not.
I've been in a tuk-tuk.
All right. Well, you begin your shadow running career in a tuk-tuk. You jump in your little sidecar alongside the little electric motorbike that zips along, and yeah, you find yourself in a massive crowd of people. There's thousands and thousands of people here. They're agitated. Most of them are wearing red shirts. A couple of them are wearing yellow shirts. But a few people aren't wearing any particular color at all. And uh, it's a hot, dynamic, aggressive situation. There's a couple of guys up there on the podium. They've got their megaphones. And they're blaring shit out in a language you probably can't even understand. Um, what do you do?
I'm trying to find the language. I remember I've got two languages, but I'll figure I'll get them later. Well, I
Sure.
assume the different coloured T-shirts are political groups, like tribes.
It would seem that that might be the case. Yeah, almost like football teams. That's something an Englishman should be able to associate with. Manchester versus Leeds, and they don't like each other.
I suppose the first thing would be if I notice like the groups are sort of interacting with each other, starting to get heated, try to just keep them in their own little groups, like their own camps.
And how do you do that? You're just one man. These guys are number in the hundreds and thousands. What are you going to do?
I assume they're guards. I can help. I can coordinate with the guards. It might start. Nothing's happened yet, but that group over there looks like something could happen.
Well, you're a shadow operative, so it's unlikely that you are associating with the guards. You might be. That might be your job, or that might be the approach you take. But normally, we don't send bikies to go and tell the cops how to do their job, right?
Yeah, and they probably wouldn't listen to me anyway.
Precisely. So here you are in the middle of this crowd, shoulder to shoulder. You've got these sweaty guys all around you. You've got women, housewives chanting. They've brought their children. They're making little flower assembly things to sell to tourists or something. There's a couple of guys getting around selling bottles of cold water and trying to push their tuk-tuks through the crowd. Um, and people blaring out opposing arguments in languages that you probably don't understand anyway.
I think I speak. Well, I took bilingual, and I think I picked the native language.
The
Would that
native
help you?
language of which country? Thailand?
No, Cambodia.
Uh-huh. Completely different language,
Okay.
has very, very,
Yeah, no,
very little to do with each other, and you can't understand a word they're saying.
that makes sense. They chose a very poor negotiator. How many people here would
Uh,
even speak English?
it's hard to tell. You might make some sort of check to guess that. Have a look at your stats. Intuition is probably going to be, maybe logic is going to be the attribute you use, and see if there's a skill there that might help answer that. If you can't
Would it be,
find anything,
would it be perception,
yep,
like searching?
perception's cool. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so add your perception dice to your intuition dice, and that's how many dice you get. Roll those. You're going to need fives. That
Does that work?
works. That's good. Okay, so you would you guess that there's probably at least half of the people understand some basic English. Maybe about 10% of them understand conversational English. Um, yeah, and the remainder know yes and no and okay, sir. That's about it.
And I assume like the leaders would understand English.
Absolutely, they're probably been educated in Oxford. It's the East has a long history of taking the best and brightest, exporting them to the West, and bringing them home with fresh ideas.
Because I'm trying to figure out a way to do this without drawing massive attention to myself, which is the idea of a Shadowrunner.
You got it.
I assume they can't be talking all day. Like, can I just wait for one of them to take a break?
Oh, they talk over each other. They never stop. It's the endurance of these people is incredible, and they have assistants as well too. When this guy gets hot, it's like they tag in the next speaker. It just never ends.
But it doesn't look like things are heating up. It's just chaotic.
Oh, as the day gets hotter and people get smellier, people start pushing each other. There are a few fights, particularly among the women grabbing each other's hair and pulling at them. It's nasty, but the armed guards are keeping things pretty much under control. Um, for the most part, they're ignoring the military, they're ignoring the police, they're just focusing their anger on each other.
And I suppose then I'll like keep on the search for like people like with worse intentions, like people hiding weapons and things. Because
Excellent.
that's where the
So,
big trouble's going to come.
with your perception of three, you've spent a couple of hours here searching for some kind of danger, and your eyes have fallen on a small, dark-skinned man with a ratty beard and moustache. And what causes you to notice him above the others is the fact that his tattoos are written in Khmer, so you can read them. It's like a Buddhist passage. It's stuff like "all life is suffering," and you create the universe within your own mind. These kind of mantras or stickers that you might memes, if you will. But this guy's got memes tattooed to his body. and you can read them because you know the language of.
Is he trying to remain hidden?
Yeah, he's got a red headband and he's got a red shirt underneath his combat vest, but he's he's low. He's hanging low. He's put himself in the middle of the yellow shirts and he's hanging low.
So I guess I could go up and like just make small talk with him, because just this knowing that like you're not as hidden as you think you are might dissuade him from doing anything.
He just tries to avoid you and push past you and pretend that he doesn't understand what you're saying.
But he knows that I'm watching him now, so I'll hang back and make sure he doesn't do anything like dangerous.
Pulls out a grenade.
Can I blast it like with magic? Just get it out of his hand.
Potentially. Do you have a spell that will do that?
I have I have stun bolt. Will that put like? I don't know how.
Stun bolt's going to work
Stun
on
bolt
the
will put him to
adversary,
sleep.
but not the grenade. The grenade has nothing to stun, but it could potentially stun
The guy
man
with the
himself.
grenade. Stab the grenade. Yeah, I'll try a stun bolt.
All right. So my understanding that'll be the magic attribute plus spell casting. I assume that you cast at maximum force. So if you're not casting at maximum force, always tell me.
Okay, so my maximum force would be 6, wouldn't it?
You can cast above your magic rating, but it changes the damage to physical instead of stun. I think it's up to double your magic rating, which would be like 12.
The damage
Yeah,
for you, not the damage for him, by the way.
Just to clarify that, I assume that you are doing at your maximum normal rating, which in your case will be 6. Yes. If you want it to be overcharged or undercharged, just
I'll use 6 because I'm not sure like how effective this will be.
All right.
3, and then I guess I roll drain.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I have to beat 3.
That's right.
That's a bit higher
You're
than
good,
3.
fam.
Totally fine.
Didn't break a sweat.
So now the damage will be 6, which is force plus net successes, right? 9 stun. Is that correct?
You get to roll willpower to defend, though.
Yeah, but that is the damage. I'm just making sure I've got the basics right.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. And so he rolls his willpower to defend. He's relatively strong-willed, but nothing particular. He resists 2 of those and takes 7 points of stun damage, which is probably just about enough to knock out most people, but not quite this guy. And so he pulls the pin. The pin is now out of the grenade. It's only a matter of time before several people are dead, probably including the guy himself. He doesn't look like he's throwing it, he just pulls it. Do you have anything for this situation at all?
I can summon a creature, can't I? Like my main thing. If I summoned like an earth elemental, could I have it like engulf him and take the explosion?
That's an interesting concept. Yeah, all right, we'll go with that. So that's going to be, I guess, summoning plus magic and summoning, I assume.
Yeah, summoning plus magic.
Okay,
All
and
right.
I'll summon
There's
force.
nothing to resist against that, is that?
You'll still need to resist drain, and what force spirit are you summoning?
I think 6, because that's like up to my rate. Cause I want. Yep. I don't know how much damage a grenade does.
So it's the spirit summoning plus magic, so or your force versus the force.
So that's 3.
All right.
So you need to roll 6 dice to resist the summoning, Matt.
Right.
Oh, so he's probably going to succeed.
So So you failed, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, because the spirit is resisting the being summoned, right? Okay, cool. All right, so you almost manifest this
And you
spirit.
need to take drain equal to 6.
So I take
Resist
3
range
strain damage.
2 times the total hits. Minimum of 2.
All right. So you begin to get a nosebleed and you begin to lose focus. And by the time your ears have stopped ringing and you're able to see without double vision, there's been an explosion. Your earth elemental did not appear in time and thus was not able to engulf the individual. The grenade goes off, 7 people are killed, an international incident is caused, and you fail your mission. You receive 200 million compensation to cover the expenses, but your employer loses faith in you. It's they witnessed the whole thing through drones. They saw most of what went on. They saw how you tried, but maybe it was your hesitation. Maybe it was your caution. Maybe it was just bad luck, or maybe you were just in over your head. Whatever the case, your mission has failed. But you don't go away empty-handed. You've at least got 200 million, enough to get yourself a real taxi and go home.
I suppose before I go, can I use my first aid to because I'm actually there, so I suppose I can help save at least a few more people.
Absolutely. There's shrapnel going everywhere, and first aid is the absolute perfect skill to use in this instance. There are people willing to give you a hand, so they'll give you a free dice. They can't really understand what you're saying, but they know how to apply a pressure. All right. And it ends up people. 2 of the critical injuries. 2.
Yeah. Look, how did I roll a d6 and get a 0? I suppose that's a fail.
0 successes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the assistant doesn't really give you much help, but nonetheless, you manage to survive to keep 2 of them alive, and that while it doesn't increase your pay packet, you're still only getting paid 200 million. Your employer sees something in that action, and evidently considers you not a lost cause because you're hired for a job a little bit later. But we'll get to that job shortly. First, we'll turn to our final character, and that's your character, right, Billy?
Did you just want me to go with the intro one?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're doing now. So, who is your character? Where have they come from, and what are they doing in Thailand?
Oh, I thought we were in Cambodia.
Not
We
yet.
will be soon.
We will be.
Oh, okay. Shade is a half Cambodian, half American. His parents used to live. Did my mic just break up?
Yeah, you said your parents used to live
Oh,
in.
He was born in Cambodia. His father used to be in the army. Met his mother while he was on tour. It was a peaceful life growing up. Not too bad. They weren't the richest family. Just simple life until the communists, ended up doing just killing everyone, and he witnessed the death of his parents, and he ended up being tortured and nearly beaten to death, but in the killing fields, but luckily survived. Mainly thanks to just like a wandering shaman that just ended up healing him. But
Cool.
ever since, he's just basically sworn nothing, just sworn everything to sacrifice his body just for revenge of his parents.
All right. What are your specialties? What do you bring to the table?
He is an excellent sniper. He specializes in stealth and he's just basically a walking.
All right. So they've got an unusual job for you. You've spent the past year or so hunting men and hunting women to a lesser degree, since the communists have no qualms in using women as soldiers. Um, and But however, the first job that you get from this new employer is outside of that particular area of expertise. They want you to hunt a paracritter. You'll be going into the jungles of Shinawat, and while you're in there, you're going to be hunting a creature called a Kamadan. They explain that a Kamadan is what happens when you take a tiger and add vipers or pythons or cobras to its shoulders. Imagine a tiger that has 4 snake heads coming out of the back of its shoulders, and then you get the idea. So, catch me a Kamadan. They would much prefer it alive, but if it has to be brought in dead, then so be it. Up to the task.
Who's the employer?
The employer for all of these jobs, including the ones last week, is a gentleman called Mr. Johnson, but we can call him Mr. Yellow as to distinguish him from every other Mr. Johnson that you'll eventually meet.
Such a popular name.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
I
joke in the Shadowrun universe that your employer's name doesn't matter, so you always call him Mr. Johnson.
accept the job.
All right. You'll be paid 1,000 if you bring it alive. You'll be paid 500 if you bring it in dead. The jungle is where you're going to be going. It's like a national park. The Kamadans are a protected species. They're like a cultural icon. So this is a national park. It's probably about 100,000 hectares. That is to say, it's about 10 kilometers on one side and about 10 kilometers on the other side. So, what are you going to do? How do you catch a Kamadan?
It's in the jungle, right? You said.
You got it.
I guess I just start with some basic tracking.
Uh-huh. Sounds good. So tracking's a skill, right? I assume it's would it be intuition and tracking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So find your intuition skill, your tracking skill, roll those dice, and we'll see how you go.
And I don't have tracking skills.
All right.
Yeah,
If you don't have a skill, right. Now, if you don't have a skill, when you default, you lose 1 die. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you have 6 ranks in tracking. So you have 11 dice to it.
I mean, that's a little higher than not
Nice.
having the skill at all.
I think that's rolling with exploding 6s.
It is. It is.
Have you got edge turned on at the top of the couch?
To fix that, we turn it off, like turn it on, and turn it off.
Got it. So everybody should do that.
Yeah,
You
everybody.
still got 7 successes though.
Indeed, it was still an incredible roll. And so you managed to find some large footprints of a big cat, and you also find some shedded snakeskin nearby, a sure sign that you must be on the right track. And you track this creature to a cave. You don't know how deep the cave is, but the cave is obviously very dark. And you're confident that it's lairing within this cave. What's the plan from here?
I'm going to just set up a staking point at the entrance of the cave with a good distance. I'm just gonna just aim my sniper just right at the cave. I'm going to turn on my invisibility cloak on.
Yeah, perfect.
Do I need to hit anything to turn that on, or I just say I do it?
It you don't have to roll when you turn it on, but if something tries to see you, you'd make a stealth check and they'd make a perception check.
There'd be no button. It'd most likely be a virtual button. So perhaps you wave your hand or move your little finger or something. You know what an AR feed, augmented reality? Do you understand those words? Okay.
Uh,
Augmented reality is like imagine looking around you and there are buttons. You know, in a modern movie about a futuristic computer, they never touch a computer screen. They just touch a pretend screen. They just, you know, like Iron Man does, right? He moves through these virtual menus without ever touching anything physical. That's augmented reality, and that's probably how you turn your invisibility cloak. There's probably a button that you press, something like that. What do you say, Neo? What do you think?
Sorry, I'm interjecting a lot here, but that's because I built most of his character, so I know like what stuff he
Absolutely.
is.
No, it's good.
He has a DNI, like a data jack in his head, so he can actually just turn it on with like a mental, like.
Excellent. So, yeah. In that case, it's more like the old Terminator movies, where the Terminator goes through a menu within his own brain, and he selects things from that menu at a near instantaneous moment, and that's how you'll activate your invisibility through an internal brain menu that seems to sit within your own eye. Okay.
and I kind of just stay in place and for hours or however long it takes till I see it come out of the cave.
Brilliant. And while you're staying there, a pangolin rocks up. A pangolin's like a little armadillo, for want of a better explanation. It's one of the rarest animals in the world, non-paracritters, and they're worth a fair bit on the black market. Do you care?
It's how far away is it from me?
Just almost walks right, more or less up to you. You could potentially reach out and grab it if you're willing to blow your cover.
I'm going to just ignore it because I'm just driven to just finish this job.
All right. This little cash cow, about the size of a bowling ball, wanders by, but you ignore it, and shortly after it's passed by, the Kamadan begins to emerge from its cave. You hear the hissing at first, and then you hear the low growling. And do you have any augmented vision? Do you have any way of like seeing things that normal human eyes can't see?
I
Yeah, vision enhancement, thermographic, and low light.
All right. The vision enhancement is like magnification, basically. It will increase the precision, like those old movies with the computers. Zoom in, zoom Z3, zoom.
Enhance. Vision magnification is actually a separate mob. The vision enhancement is the whole enhance on CS.
Perfect. Thermo is a little more self-explanatory. Low light, even more so. Would you like to use any of your vision attributes to?
Yeah. Do I just click on the cyber eyes system?
You probably just make a perception check, and the vision enhancement will give you a +3.
Yeah, so specify what you're doing when you do it, and after that, it's usually just the power of thought.
I'm basically just zooming in and just looking for the best. I guess just where the kill shot would be on the creature. I'm also using tracker rounds in my sniper, so just in case I don't kill it with a couple of hits, I'll be able to track where it's going.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So you zoom in, but it's still dark. It's still pitch blackness inside the cave. Is there anything you can do about that?
I have thermal vision, right?
Excellent. So you bring up thermal imaging, and you can see the dual heat signature of the Kamadan with its super hot tiger body and its much cooler snake appendages coming out of its shoulder blades. Um, you estimate that it's about 18 meters within the cave, looking out. You don't know if it can see you or smell you or sense you at all, but it's sitting within the darkness of the cave, hidden from almost, hidden from normal sight. But to you, it's as clear as day. There's no cover, there's no protection. It's just a big gaping cave hole with a heat signature about 18 meters in.
I'm going to take a shot.
All right. Now you can line shots up in Shadowrun when you've got the time to do so. Would someone like to explain that?
Yeah.
You take a simple action to make a call to basically take aim, and then on your next shot, you can do it a couple of times. I think up to half your willpower, and then each time you do that, it either improves the accuracy or gives you a +1 die pool on your next attack.
Okay, so I'm taking aim, and then I take a shot.
Yeah.
Neo, just correct me, sorry. I think if you have a smart link, you get both benefits for aiming as well, the accuracy and die pool modifier. Is that correct?
Nah, though a smart link just gives you a flat +2 bonus if it's linked to Cyber Eyes. Each take aim action applies to +1 dice pool or +1 accuracy, and you can do it up to half your willpower.
All right. So the difference between extra dice and extra accuracy is, how would you explain that? Basically, how the consistency versus the higher potential number. That's a bad way of explaining it.
Yeah, accuracy is the maximum amount of hits you can get on the test. So if you boost your accuracy, you can get more hits on the test. But if you just up your dice pool, you're guaranteed, or you're more likely to get up to your accuracy. But you have the limit in there, so any more than that are wasted.
Sorry, Neo. You do get both bonuses with the smart gun if it's wireless. If you activate the wireless component.
And Mr. Yep
Yep.
that he wanted it alive or dead.
He would prefer it alive. He'll give you
Or-
1,000 alive or a 500 dead.
Okay. Then I am gonna aim. It has like legs, right?
It does. It's like a tiger, but out of its shoulder blades come 4 serpents.
I'm gonna try to like immobilize it then. To take a shot at its leg.
All right. No worries. So you all right. The leg is a slightly smaller target, so we'll say that you lose 2 dice due to the difficulty in shooting a smaller part of a larger body. But that's more than compensated by the aiming that you've done. So what's your willpower? It's one of your basic attributes.
5.
All right. So I assume that we round up like everything except for Dungeons and Dragons. Yep, cool. So half of 5 is 3. You'll be that'll give you an extra either 3 dice or 3 accuracy, depending on whether you want to make sure that you hit, or whether you're confident that you'll hit, and you simply want to make sure that you are more effective.
Your willpower is 3, by the way.
If you got a wireless smart link, you get both bonuses.
Right. Okay. In that case, it doesn't really matter. It increases both your accuracy and your dice pool. So, because your willpower is 3, not 5, half of that is 2. You'll get an extra 2 dice, which compensates for the 2 dice that you lose while shooting the leg. So it becomes a flat roll. So, roll your dice. It's
I click the.
I haven't seen the characters set up, so I don't know. None of my NPCs are set up. I wish they were.
Yeah. If he's got that loaded with tracker rounds, it's 10 damage.
Brilliant, brilliant.
AP -2.
Okay, now the tiger's going to resist with its body and its armor. Doesn't have a lot of armor, but it's got a fair bit of body. But it's a great strike, and 5 damage to its leg breaks it. It's far from a lethal blow on a creature like this, but you've shattered its leg, and in doing so, you've frightened it, angered it, and you force it back into the cave. So the creature runs and tries to hide deeper within the cave. You can see its heat signature flashing as it disappears behind stalactites and stalagmites, and it just generally tries to make it itself as scarce as it can. It roars and it hisses, and you've made it angry.
Am I able to take another shot at it?
You are, but it's in a lot of cover now. It's really well protected, and it's probably further back. What's the range on your weapon? I don't think it's going to matter, but this is a good question anyway.
It's a sniper rifle, so short range, 0 to 50, medium range, 51 to 350. This is meters, by the way.
Cool.
51 to 350.
All right. Well, on the short range things, let's assume that it's gone out of short range now. So for you have 2 choices. You can either maintain the position you're in and try to fire on it through its cover, deeper at a range of about 60 meters, or you can close the distance between where you are and the cave mouth, maybe be much closer, like 30 meters, but expose yourself in the process. What would you prefer to do?
I'm just gonna try to immobilize it and take the chance of taking another shot.
All right. So it's got a lot of cover at this stage. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that'll bring it down to about -5 dice, just for simplicity's sake. So you lose 5 dice on your attack, but apart from that, you're ready to go again. All right, not so good, but fortunately also not a glitch, and still a hit anyway. 1 net hit. The tiger there's not much it can do to dodge against your bullet. Can't see where you are or anything. One net hit is how much damage? 13.
11 because he's using tracker rounds.
Cool.
Also, just for future reference, you shouldn't use like the character sheet links if there's modifiers in the die roll, because it doesn't put the modifiers in.
Okay.
Because what I did is I rolled it and then added the modifier in like a roll afterwards.
Oh, but
It's
I mean,
like-
like for example, that rolled his full die pool, didn't put in the
Instead of
modifier to recover.
there was no -5 penalty, which is really bad. Like how? Sure, I can't believe that they don't let modifiers before you roll. That's odd.
That's why I used
They do. There's a thing at the top that says modifiers.
Oh, good.
Oh, where is that?
Like, it seemed like a pretty basic design.
Yeah. Modifiers, Whisper GM.
All right. Well, let's try that one again. Shade, if you could make the roll with a -5 modifier. Neo, you might have to explain again how to do it.
Yeah. At the top of your character sheet, where like your character player name, like the very top of it, top left, there are like 4 little bars you can turn. One's Whisper GM, one's Wounds, one's Edge, and one of them is modifiers. There you go. Turn that on. It should prompt you for
Okay.
modifiers. So yeah, just try rolling again.
Can I just type 5? Minus 5?
-5.
All right. Yeah, that looks like that worked. That worked well. And so this time you shoot it in one of the other legs, somewhere near the rump, and the beast is crippled now. It's angry. It's slowly dying. It suffered 2 grievous injuries that would easily kill a human. But you've broken one of its legs and made one of its back legs, and you've made the other back leg more or less useless anyway through sheer impact of the flesh wound that you inflict upon its thigh. Creature's still alive, creature's still conscious. Now what do? You've got a Kamadan about 30 meters inside a dark cave that's just spoiling to kill.
I do a quick check around. I don't sense anything else in that cave. I just see.
It's pretty unlikely that there would be anything in there. It'd kill it. Maybe bats, maybe even snakes, maybe even baby Kamadans. But no, you look around and there's no sign of any other heat signature bigger than a vole, a rat.
Yeah. Remind you of 2 options here. You have stick and shock rounds for pretty much all of your guns, and you also have a pistol loaded with basically tranquilizer rounds.
And how do I change the rounds? Like in
It's just an action. Oh, on the token, I have no idea, or on the like roll20 sheet, I have no idea. But you just specify what you're loading your gun.
Is that the Ruger?
No, it's a different clip that you're putting into your Cavalier arm.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I'm gonna shoot it with the tranquilizer.
Done. And it's at this point it's easy because you're more or less using a shotgun, right? The creature can't hide anywhere.
Pistol.
So you level your pistol or whatever gun that you're using with the tranq darts at the foe, and just unleash at nearly point blank range. The creature is subdued, and now it's just a matter of getting it home. Weighs about 500 kilos, which is about 1,000 pounds.
I guess I will just tie a rope around it and just drag it.
It sucks, and you drag it through the mud, and by the time you finally make it to the forest edge, you're covered in green ants. You know what green ants are? They're like giant bull ants that attack in swarms. You're covered in green ant bites. You've been bitten by mosquitoes. There's leeches in between your toes in your boots. Make a body roll. If you have any resistances against disease, you can add them. Other than that, I think maybe it's body times two because you almost always roll two dice, two groups. So look at what your body attribute is, multiply it by two, and roll that many dice.
He has got
Unless you.
ortho skin. He's probably
Uh-huh.
immune to most things biting him.
All right. Well, that's interesting to know. So, would you like to explain what ortho skin is?
Yeah, it's basically like, for lack of a better word, Kevlar has been sewn into your skin, giving you just a base armor rating. So you are kind of casually bulletproof.
Kind of like a crocodile, basically.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it looks fairly natural, but feels like Kevlar.
Okay.
And yeah, basically you get +4 armor always.
+4 is good. A tiger, for example, only has like 1 or 2 armor. A dog, 1 or 2. So you've got a thicker hide and more natural protection than a dog. And in that case, yeah, mosquitoes and green ants would probably not bother you. Leeches, however, leeches would still get in your boots and slowly sap away at your blood. But it's not going to bother you too much. Your ortho skin in this case has largely protected you from the natural environment. Um, you get. Do you have any sort of vehicle at all?
Nope.
All right. Well, in that case, your employer's not going to leave you hanging. They have a van. They're ready to pick you up on the edge of the forest. They've paid off the local park ranger, and you chuck your massive Camadon, your the tiger, awakened tiger, into the back of the GMC Bulldog, and your job is done. You brought it in alive. They're not quite happy with the amount of damage that you did, and so they only give you 800 instead of the 1,000 that you were promised. Are you good with that?
I look at him and said, you never specified damage or, you said dead or alive, and it's alive, so a deal.
All right, make a negotiation test. You have an extra 2 dice because you're right. So, yeah, charisma and negotiation. If you don't have negotiation, it's charisma -1 +2 in this instance. Take that fucking bulldog. Take the bulldog, put cyberware in the Cavadon, start an army.
God, is that what happened? Is that where the Cyber Tiger and the XYZ came from?
Hopefully, this is the next model. Like Cyber Tigers are so 2072. We're in the future now. All right, they agree. Like it's only 200 million. They don't give a fuck. They're not going to argue with a man who can take out a Kemadan single-handedly. They pay you the full 1,000, and they even give you a ride back to the Sky Train where you can make your own way home. All right. Everybody gets 2 karma. 1 karma for turning up last week, and an extra karma for the successful performance, or perhaps not entirely successful performance of your job. 2 karma, plus the money that you've earned. There's not much that 2 karma will buy, so I'm going to assume that we're not going to spend the next 25 minutes leveling up our characters.
But can we do that anyway? No.
You can spend your karma if you want, absolutely.
No, can we just waste time anyway?
Possibly, but you might want to boost a skill, for example. You might decide that you didn't have a skill that you needed, something very basic. But Assuming that that's not the case,
Is it?
we can move
I mean,
on.
is it like one karma to get like 1 point in a skill?
It'll get you the first point in a skill.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll go ahead and pick up a point in hacking.
I'll pick
There
up
you go.
I'll pick up a point in binding.
Yeah, and if it's
Alright.
all right, because we kind of switched roles around a little bit, I retroactively swapped some purchases around and picked up like the most bare bones cyber deck you can get,
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
along with a street legal truck.
Just quick, how do you add karma to like chummer?
Once you've finished your character and done the whole like finish character creation, save it. You go into Karma and Nuyen. It's like a tab at the.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's pretty cool. How like
Yep.
it keeps track of it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like it's got like mission rewards
Yeah.
200.
Exactly.
Isn't Chummer
yeah.
amazing? Like, it's such a godsend.
The game would be
They
unfucking playable without it. Oh god.
They should have just added that into the Roll20 character
I
sheet.
had like
yeah,
support for chummer.
They
just so
really
you-
should, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know as well, if you need to default on a skill on your character sheet, right at the top of the skill section, there's a default a skill button, and you
Cool.
just select the attribute that it goes with, hit default a skill, and then it'll do the -1 for you.
Yeah, I'll have to find time to see if someone can give me a tutorial on how to build the characters so that I can build up some just some base.
Oh, it's 2 karma to get to
Cambodian.
1.
Is
You
it?
might just
Two
use
to get
like
one.
really quick characters. Matt, the lifestyle module can be pretty good because it just goes like you pick what they've done with their life, and it just goes give them these attributes.
Okay, cool. Well, it's on the.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
not compatible with Chummer.
Oh, okay.
Life
Yeah.
modules
Yeah,
are
it's like-
compatible with Chummer.
Are they?
Yep.
I couldn't find it.
Almost certain they are. They used to be, I know.
It's a pain in the ass. You got to turn them on when you first set up,
Ah. You gotta go into like the options menu.
and they are a little glitchy. So there's a lot of shit you gotta. It's kind of one way. You can't go back and adjust shit very easily, and if you do, the glitches tend to stack.
Uh,
A lot of times it's easier just to go through the books and cap shit from that.
Okay, so I have binding now.
Cool. All right. So ends the origin stories. You've all been brought together for your first job. You probably don't know each other, but here we are nonetheless. You find yourself in a barber, and each of you are waiting at the pleasure of a gentleman that each of you have already done a deal with, done a job for, Mr. Yellow, who sent Andre to steal a computer chip and gave a package to Godfather to deliver, and so on, and so forth. Mr. Yellow's currently getting a haircut, a beard trim. He's lying back in his barber's chair. And it's during this encounter that he explains the simple job that he has for you. It's very simple. Any questions, you can ask them at the end, but now he just gives you a breakdown. So he wants you to steal an aquatic snake. This snake lives within an aquarium. It's an awakened coral sea snake. It lives within an aquarium on an island called Koh Samui. Koh Samui, the island is off Koh Samui rather. Koh Samui is a fairly big, popular tourist island. There are flights that you can get to Koh Samui. but although that's not how you'll be getting there, he'll provide a seaplane, a private seaplane. And so you guys are going to get in a seaplane, fly to Koh Samui, and from Koh Samui, you've got to navigate across the sea to get to this little private island. Once you reach the private island, get past the nautical security, the boats, get past the terrestrial security, the guys that are on the island, get past the electronic security, of course, and enter the facility, and i.e., enter the guy's home. Once you're in the, once you've made it into this guy's domicile, find the aquarium, find a way to extract the awakened coral sea snake from the aquarium, ensure the snake's safety, extract the snake, and get it back to us. Yeah. Simple enough, right?
I hate you.
What level of security are we talking about for this island?
There should be. It should be pretty intense. It should. It's a personal dwelling of someone, and they are likely to be guarded pretty heavily. Yeah, there will be a bonus for you each if you manage to pull this off without killing anyone.
Mega corporate security or hired guns or national?
They won't be expecting much, so he doesn't anticipate the security being top notch. Rather, he expects it to be competent and loyal. Yeah, competent and loyal. These aren't corporate security guards, nor are they national security guards. They're private, personal security guards.
Will the snake require special containment to extract it, or will just a thing of water?
It's an aquatic snake, but they breathe oxygen. They live on islands and beaches. It's highly venomous. It's one of the most dangerous. It's not one of the most dangerous snakes. It has some of the most potent venom of any snake known to the awakened world. So secure containment will be in your own interests.
When you say aquatic snake, as we took it like a sea snake or a river snake?
You know what a coral sea snake is?
So saltwater.
Yeah, that's right. This is an awakened saltwater snake. They breathe air. They don't have gills. They breathe air, but they swim for
water
like.
could still affect their scales and stuff. So
absolutely, and they could swim for hours at a time.
All right, so we'll need salt water.
Yeah, I'm quite proficient with animal handling.
Is he going to tell us who owns this place? He seems to be darting around the subject quite a bit.
He tells you the location of the island, and that's all. Doesn't want anyone killed. So thus there will be a bonus. It's an important job to him. He's given you 10,000 each if the snake survives, but he's only giving you 2,000 if it doesn't. You're bringing back a dead snake.
And what's the bonus?
2,000 each. If anyone kills anyone, you all lose the bonus.
If I've got this correct, that means 12,000 total if no one dies and the snake is alive.
Correct.
Each.
It's a lot of money. That's a big job. I mean, you should know that because you got paid like 500 for your last job.
That's
yeah.
The bonus is only for not killing, right? People get injured. That's totally acceptable.
Precisely. If you put anyone in hospital, they don't mind. What he wants to avoid is this becoming an incident. Like when people die, families ask questions, right? They want to know why Huxon never came home from his island holiday. And but if he merely broke a leg, that can be explained why. Maybe he got bitten by a shark.
Hmm.
Right. Sounds acceptable to me.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
What's the
My
timeline
mentor
on this
suggested
job?
I find a group of friends.
Don't some of you have skills?
What's the
Sorry.
timeline on this job?
You got 3 weeks. It's no rush. Get to know each other. Have a night out in the town on our expense. They give you 100 Nuyen credit stick each, so you can, get to know each other. Do a bit of partying, or just hire a hotel and talk, sing "Kumbaya." 100 Nuyen should get you a
So
nice
just
acoustic guitar.
Andres just brought something up in chat, which some of you newer players who are our faces may be unaware of. It is quite often for Johnsons to underquote the job, and part of the face's job is to negotiate for better pay or conditions.
Mm. Okay,
Well,
because yeah, I was
more time.
Either more time, more pay, possibly negotiating for him to cover our expenses as well as paying for the run, providing equipment, more information, all kinds of things.
Something like a boat rental once we get to Kosame, or so we can get to the island. Shit like that.
'Cause I've
right.
got
Okay.
good negotiation skills, I think. So you think I should try to get more time?
How good's good?
I think it's
Time.
10.
Maybe I'll probably take the lead on it then.
Personally, I always really like to try and negotiate for covering expenses.
Mm. Okay. When you say the covering expenses, though, you mean like any equipment we'll need for that job, yeah?
For example, this job requires extracting a
Mm.
snake, so we're going to need special containment. They need to either be able to provide containment or provide cash so we can get containment so we're not paying for that out of the mission money.
Yeah. Okay. To do the, well, I'm guessing we're still talking to the guy at this time.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting a shave.
Okay. So to do this job, we'll need some things cleared up for us. So mainly a container to make sure we can get the snake out safely in its a good habitat to keep it healthy for you. And we'll also probably need some money for some equipment we're going to need to not kill people, but subdue them or at least injure them peacefully.
I hired you because you are professionals. I assembled this team specifically to cover each aspect of the job. Are you telling me that you don't have what it takes?
We have what it takes, but without claws, a bear is useless. We need our claws to do the job correctly. Unless you don't want us to do it correctly, then I suppose that we shouldn't be doing it at all.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job. I've given you the coordinates, the location, everything that you need to know. If you can't figure out a way, what am I supposed to do? Hold your hand?
All right.
Tell
Well,
me, how would you do it?
how about this? We get half the standard cut now, and then the other rest of it after. Give us a little bit of money to start with to get going.
I'll give you half of the fail pay now.
I'll look
You only
to.
get two. You only get 2,000 if you fuck this up. I'll give you 1,000 of that now.
I'll kind of just give a glance to the other people with me to see if they give some sort of facial expressions.
I mean, my character's like pretty new to jobs this big, so he doesn't know this is good.
Oh, I should.
I don't look happy.
we're not going to fail. We're not going to fail. We're going to get this done, if you believe in it or not. Raise it to 2,000 now, right now, and then you can pay us the rest after that.
Make a negotiation check now.
Let me just check China. Negotiation. Is this bargaining?
Yeah, it is. It's bargaining.
Okay. Slash roll. Yep. Cool. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the fucking number.
Yeah,
So
greater
1,
than
2,
5.
3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes.
He agrees. He agrees to give you the 2,000 up front. But that means that if you fail, then he doesn't expect you to come back. You've already gotten the base level of pay. And so, if that's the case, if you don't hop on that seaplane out of Koh Samui in 2 weeks' time and come back, he'll send real runners to come after you.
I assure you that won't need to happen.
All right. So you've got the money up front, 2,000, and when you're ready to go, a seaplane will fly you 300 or 400 kilometers from Pattaya down to Koh Samui, and you can begin your job.
So, I guess who's the best? I think I'm the best. I might be the better animal handler. Like, has anyone got it?
Sounds like you're the only one.
Okay. So I guess that's my part of this job.
Well, you're also a mage.
We said we got 2 weeks before the plane's gonna be there, yeah?
It's up to you. They'll you've got about 2 or 3 weeks to perform the job, and the plane's ready to go now. If you want to head down to the Sea Coast and start the mission, or if you want to laze around town for a week, that's your business. He's not going to tell you how to do your job.
Right. Okay.
Lazing around town can be very useful. You might speak to contacts. You might go to libraries and research. There are a lot of things that you can do with downtime.
You guys are missing a really important step here. We're supposed
The
to go
plan.
out and spend 100 yuan and party together.
Yeah. That is a good point. All right. I know of a few places that might suit the fancy. What are you looking for?
I don't care as long as I can get drunk.
Well, that I do know of. So, was this? It was in skills, knowledges. So, I have a knowledge skill of skill rating 4, intelligence 5. So, a rating of 9 of bars and clubs.
Beautiful. So
So
yeah,
we should.
you name it, Bangkok's got it. Aussie bars where you can get a meat pie and a craft beer, strip joints where they'll give you a head job while also serving you vodka, anything and everything. Bars that are floating, bars that are in sky rises, bars where you have to swim up to the bar to order your drink. Bangkok has got them all.
I need somewhere that doesn't have ID checks as well.
Not
I'm
a
pretty sure I
problem.
could do that. Yeah, I've got a 9 in black market as well. So I'd probably choose a bar that's a bit quieter, doesn't need ID checks, somewhere we can drink and talk about the job, or just talk freely without having to worry about listening ears
All
as
right.
much.
You go to a 70s bar. It's 100 years ago, back in the 1970s. There was a lot going on in the world. Hippies were a thing, and atom bombs were the big worry of the day. And someone shot the fucking president. It was crazy, yo. And so you go to like a 70s bar, and the 70s means the 50s. James Dean and Elvis are there, and the Hulk. it's pop culture from the 20th century, which when you look back 100 years from now, like the 1970s looks like the entire 20th century. It's all the same shit, really. Nothing ever changed. They played guitars. They went to the movies. They drank milkshakes. That's what people did in the 20th century, right? Everyone knows that. They watched television. So there you are in your 70s bar. Someone brings you a steak, a real steak. No, it's not a real steak. Kind of.
Did
It's
they
like
say
a
it's a real steak?
That's right.
Soy.
Is it passable soy steak?
That's right. It's a possible. It says genuine Australian Wagyu beef, but it's pretty good soy. Yeah, pretty good soy.
Fuck yeah, I'd fuck into that.
Mm.
And I want a synth whiskey.
All right. It comes in a big beer mug from the 20th century, like a stein made of glass, and
Leave the
you're
plastic.
living the dream. You're on the highway. You're going down Highway 66 right now. Yeah.
I'll get whatever straight liquor they have, just in a short glass.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a quiet place.
Godfather does likewise.
Excellent. The little Thai girl who serves you is dressed like someone called Mary Sue, whoever that is. Mary Sue has a lot of bows, buckles on her shoes.
And I guess my character gets something
Oh.
like weak alcohol that tastes like sugary.
Perfect. Mango banana frap.
Yeah, that'll do. That's what
Andre,
people from the 20s drink, right?
they do. Yeah, a real steak will cost you 120 million. Brilliant. It comes out, man. 450 grams of thick prime rib, char grilled, seasoned, mashed potatoes, broccoli, carrots, and a special jacket potato decorated with a little bit of bacon. The whole thing is served with your choice of mushroom, pepper, or cayenne sauce, and it's real. Somewhere out there, there's a farm where this cow grew in the sunshine and ate real grass and real grain, or possibly in a factory. But anyway, it was a real cow once upon a time. This is it. You get any edge that you've spent back. Everyone
quite
smells the steak and it fills the room, even seeming to drive the smoke and the artificial stench of chloroform or whatever they use to clean this place away.
So we haven't had the chance to speak before. Like I'm Fenway. Like who would you lot be? And he like goes to shake your hands like one at a time.
I will shake your hand very, very firmly.
Like, he would like he tries to like match the firmness.
I doubt it.
That's why I said tries.
Yeah, when you
You
go to
got-
shake Godfather's hand, you like have to like stand there for a second before he seems to notice you.
God damn
But
it,
then he
get out of
turns.
control.
Yeah, he'll wait a second.
Well, how do you even know I'm a rigger?
You got that look in your eye. And I
I
don't
don't
see it.
have eyes.
I'm not too familiar. What's the rigor?
They look like he's not here. He's either a rigger or a decker, and I don't see a deck.
He has a deck actually.
Yeah, I know, but I probably can't see it.
He usually keeps it in his pants, I'm guessing.
So is it to do with technology?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Speaking of at the table, Godfather's gonna basically do a matrix search on Awakened Coral Snake.
All right, go ahead.
No, yeah, I can't seem to get the damn things to work. Like, my brother got me a phone and I put it on my head and the battery exploded.
Hmm.
I guess you have to be quite smart to get those things to work.
Hmm. They work fine for me, but I wouldn't say I'm well versed.
Sorry, I'm getting the roll 20 macros.
Oh, no worries. I was just typing it again.
There it goes.
All right.
So
Three's
do you
pretty
want to
good. Gives you some basic knowledge. Look, you're going to like this. First of all, they're a very rare serpent. Second of all, they're very expensive. Third, people who are rich have a tendency to put them in aquariums because they look really pretty. They're red with black and yellow bands. But this is the part that you're going to like. You know the famous drug Neurostun? Some Neurostun derivatives were invented basically by copying the genome, more or less, of the toxin that the awakened coral sea snake has. So, in layman's terms, if you want Neurostun, you can adapt it from the snake's venom.
Interesting.
So, what does an awakened animal mean?
Magically,
Yeah.
Oh, so it
it's some
doesn't mean
type of
it's human
magical animal.
intelligence?
not necessarily. Not at all sentient, but
Yeah. For example, a feral ghoul has no like consciousness left in it, but it's still an awakened creature. You know?
Okay. So, like,
What's the
for
type
example,
of snake actually called?
there's a kind of slug that you can find that is kind of dual natured. So when something astral passes through it, it'll kind of make a screeching noise. It's not intelligent, but it's magically awake.
Should probably
also-
establish with you
There's also
gentlemen.
awakened plants.
Probably establish. Are we going to be capable of performing this mission without fatalities?
Hmm. Avoiding fatalities is my usual game plan, but I'm quite versed in the manipulation of other people, so I could probably sway people away from fighting us if need be. This is usually just for show, and he'll pat his and like sort of conceal the sidearm.
Got to drown the sticking shark.
Gotta confess, the non-lethal approach isn't the one I normally take, but I can adapt. I'll need to get some new gear though.
I
so
can.
what language is everyone speaking right now? I assume everyone
English.
knows English.
I may be able to help with that. I have a few connections on the not so friendlier side of the supermarket.
Aye.
It's good to know. I'm new in
Gas
town. And
grenades, DMSO, knockout gas.
Drugs would be preferred, yes. I have one other connection here. He doesn't really deal with other people, but he makes an exception with me as I help him out sometimes. Say not a drug dealer, but a pharmacist with a bit of an edge. I can start making some calls if we want some orders and use some of that money we've got.
Acceptable.
Right.
out of game, I do
Also,
have a handful of non-lethal grenades, but I've no non-lethal ammunition.
Sorry, T, what's your in-game name?
Ricochet.
Oh, okay. Um, sorry, big, you, what's your name again? and I'll ask in game because that's should have done to Ricochet. Right. Well, what are you looking for gear-wise that I can help look for?
Wow. Probably a gun, pistol, long arm. Don't care.
Right.
Gel round, stick and
Range.
shock. Either will do.
Right.
Just in case we need to get our hands dirty, a stun button wouldn't hurt.
That could be arranged, I'm sure.
I suppose we could also get a cage for the snake when we get it into our hands.
Hmm.
Alright, we'll need some kind of containment device, preferably two things, Arctic. First of all, when I googled that snake, what was it called?
It is a Hydrophinae morpheus, an awakened coral sea snake. It's one of the many paracritters that hasn't really been given a proper commercial name. It's just not common enough for one thing. So yeah, it's generally called an awakened coral sea snake, Hydrophinae morpheus. Morpheus, Hydrophinae meaning water serpent, Morpheus meaning dream, which is the narcotoxin element of it.
And how big is it?
Oh, they are about 1.5 meters long in general, not very long, and they probably weigh around about 8 kilos. It's not a big snake. It's just an extremely venomous snake. They don't kill a lot of people because virtually no one comes into contact with them. They're not. It's. You don't go swimming and get bitten by an awakened coral sea snake. It just doesn't happen.
Alright, so let's just go to like a pet store and get a like couple gallon portable aquarium or something for saltwater.
Are the snakes known to be aggressive?
They're not known to be
Most-
because they just aren't
most
interacted
snakes
with very
aren't.
much. Well, that's right, right? Like, put it this way: you go to pick up a snake, the snake's gonna fucking bite you. Does that make it aggressive? I'm not sure. Not really. They don't go out of their
But
way
it's,
to
but
hunt
it's,
people.
it's not like the Australian fair snake though that are like known for being highly aggressive.
That's right. That's right. So it doesn't have any particular reputation. But again, that's not necessarily because they aren't aggressive, but rather because they haven't been researched. The data that you find is that this snake needs more field studies in order for us to understand more about it. It's just not something that people run into in their daily lives, the way that people run into cobras.
Right, so we'll need like a couple gallon aquarium and some like really, really thick I don't know, like those like the kind of gloves like dog handlers use or whatever.
Get some
So we can
food
like
it likes,
reach into the
and
tank.
entice it closer.
Are they poisonous?
Definitely, yeah.
Very.
Extremely.
Maybe some anti-venom, just to slow it if we need to. If someone, in the off chance someone does get bit.
I mean, it's a snake. Like some thick gloves and a tank will do it.
Oh, I can.
Right.
I should be able to cure if anyone gets bitten.
Do we really need a tank?
Tank's no good on a boat or a plane.
I mean, quite often snakes are just chucked in a Hessian bag, or I like Andre's suggestion of a PVC pipe as well.
Yeah, didn't they say it could breathe out water?
Yeah, they live on islands and stuff. It's like it's more of an amphibious animal. It's not like they don't.
It can swim, but it can live on water, on land.
Just want to make sure it can breathe and it's in something it can't bite through.
PVC
So
pipe.
drill holes in the PVC pipe.
Alright.
That and it's easily concealed.
Alright.
Like most snake handlers, just chuck snakes in a bag.
It'll work then.
Alright.
Just need some handling gloves.
And one of them they just stick with like a hook on the end of it is quite common as well.
Yeah, we wouldn't really know how to use that.
Out of character, do either of the mages have spell levitate or control animals?
You thought I bought
just
useful spells. No, I don't have either of those.
Spells.
Considering my character, I probably should have gotten
No.
control animal.
No, I didn't.
Well, I mean, levitate's a pretty common spell.
I did consider it, but I went against it in the end.
All right. So that's fine. Just, my character wouldn't know that, so that's not a. But I've played a lot of mages, so it would be something that your characters would have known had they had it.
Yeah, no, I would have brought it up if I knew it.
Never mind.
I kind of lower my voice when I want to say this, but what sort of drugs are we looking for?
All of
get
them.
a list together. I don't think my
How many do you
contact would
have?
like me just saying all of them.
I usually like
Just go to your
slab, but
drug
that's
dealer. It's like, I
probably
want
overkill for a
everything you
snake.
have.
All right,
I
slab.
think Narcojet's a standard tranquilizer. Mix it with
Alright.
DMSO, put in tear gas, or, well, are we doing drugs? If we're doing drugs for security, perhaps slabs in order. Those pricey.
Alright. Well, slab and narcojet. Do you want DMSO for that as well?
Makes it aerosol.
Absorbent skin. Yeah. Alright. I'll get those 3 then, unless anyone else wants something else. Oh, cram. Alright. I'm guessing that's a cigar.
Shade, is this those is Omen, isn't it? Omen. Omen.
Omen.
You would know that drugs are expensive in Bangkok.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing wrong with getting them. You can get them easily, but you'll be paying top dollar here in the big city.
Okay.
They're going to probably be cheaper at the seaside city of Pattaya, which is where your plane takes off, and they're probably going to be cheaper still out in the islands where everyone takes drugs. Shit like cram is just, it's just it comes with a free, like, I don't know, T-shirt or something. So yeah,
Okay.
it's expensive in Bangkok, cheap at Pattaya, and it's going to be cheaper still in Koh Samui. However, you don't necessarily have any contacts in Koh Samui, so just something to think about.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it might be
Um,
worth mentioning. I have a contact with an info broker. I'm not sure how loyal he is though.
Does that price hike apply to drugs and toxins or just drugs?
Just drugs. This is just recreational shit. Like, if you want to get like
Got it.
industrial stuff, then it's just you pay industrial prices.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could
So I guess
oh, sorry,
I guess
you go.
I'll get the gloves because I'm sorting the animal stuff. I guess, like, how much
could
would like a small pot of like snake food be?
Like a rat.
What like something it
I'll,
would be enticed by? I'm not sure what they eat.
I'll sell you a rat for 5 million. It's a fucking big rat. It's a live rat. It comes with. It's in a cage. You don't have to handle it. It's like it comes with its own little plastic cage. You want a rat? 5 million. Fresh.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
sure, that'll do.
forest snakes
That'll
don't eat rats,
entice.
but
Excuse
What a
me.
steal! We get a rat and a cage.
I mean, you're probably paying for the cage there, not the rat.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so when you've got the cage, we can just put a new rat in it.
Alright, so you buy the rat. The rat turns up not in a cage but in a harness. And when he says plastic, he means plastic bag. So basically, it's a rat. Its head is poked through. Its little arms and tails have all poked through. So
I guess I'll use. Can I use animal handling and feed it a few of the bar nut, like peanuts from the bar?
what was?
So I can say that again
So you're feeding your rat peanuts? Is that right?
from the bar.
All right, no worries. You feed your rat loves you. It gets genuine peanuts. It hasn't had real peanuts in days, and so like your rat is now you now have a loyal street rat. The contacts 1, loyalty 3. Connection 1, loyalty
That's a
3, rat.
well-connected rat.
That's a
That's
well
the
connected rat.
connected it is, yeah.
That rat can get on for you if you like, if you need.
Get to do some legwork.
Um,
All right, you have a rat. What's its name?
I guess I'll call it Claw.
You've named your rat. How can you feed your rat to the? How can you feed the rat to the snake now that you've named it? You are so inhuman.
And I
All
have
right,
to.
let's move
I
on.
have to be loyal to my friends. I buy a second rat. Nah, we'll work something out.
All right,
He's a
Right.
seducer. It's what he does.
indeed. So Fenway turns up with his rat in a plastic bag. He's also got some gloves. Is there anything else we need?
Yeah.
We want to get some knockout grenades
yeah,
to deal with security, just so we have options.
just knock out grenades, yeah.
Yeah, maybe gas grenades. I've got a couple doses of slab. Yeah, I got 10
Okay.
doses.
If
So
we
just
get
need
gas
some
grenades,
DMSO.
does everybody have gas mask?
I have gas masks for the entire team.
Oh, that's nice.
I also have a
I
gas
bought a
mask.
lot of shit for the entire team because I didn't want anybody to not have certain things.
I would like to
I
get
have a
a
ballistic
set.
mask, an inbuilt respirator, and a separate gas mask as well.
Okay, just I've been in those situations too, where the guy throwing the grenade did not have a respirator or gas.
And chemical protection in my clothing.
Yeah, I mean, mixing the shit with DMSO, so even a gas mask won't be a fantastic protection.
Hence the
Just
chemical protection in my clothing.
Just don't drop it.
Yeah,
Um,
basically.
could I give a connection about one of my connections a call? Am I,
I'm just thinking of this scene, right? Like you're discussing. You guys are fairly professional. Have we got? First of all, have we got gas masks? Yeah, I've got gas masks. I've got inbuilt respirator. Okay. And poor Fenway's sitting there, college boy. He's got his fucking rat. He's like, whoa. I am
Now I
so
can imagine things
over in
like
my
they're,
head.
they're all talking very professional. They sit down, it's like, I got the rat, boys.
Good job. Good job. You're
Pat's
part of the
head.
team, buddy.
I still need a firearm as well.
Yeah, I'm just about to make a few calls, and I'll see what I
Cool.
can do.
When you make
Okay.
that call,
Yeah.
can you also ask for a compressor for a shit head?
Let me get my Word document.
I
I'll
was
write
I
down
was
the
just going to
orders.
get to the suppressor actually, just before we do anything else. So because they're actually really easy to buy. Andre, what do you've had your steak? You must be feeling so happy after getting some real food. But at some stage during you go outside, right? And the streets of Bangkok are packed with motorcycles and street walkers and stalls. There are stalls everywhere, and these stalls sell fucking everything. They got shoes and they got shirts, but they've also got hand sanitizer and towels, and then they've got nunchucks and ninja stars and tasers and they you're just walking down the freaking street and people they don't sell the silencers out openly, but when you start inquiring at the guy who's openly selling tasers and nunchucks and ninja stars, he then goes and gets his hidden stock, and he only has to more or less reach behind the curtain, and he pulls out a range of silencers and other kind of accessories like basically stuff that is restricted but not out and out forbidden in most cases. So you get your silencer with ease, your suppressor with ease. Is there anything else that you want from this guy?
Does he have explosives?
No, no explosive, sir. No, no. We have taser. Yeah.
Just
We
what
have Kevlar vest. You see, you wear it's stylish and protect you from bullet. Uh, uh, He doesn't know what else to give you, but no, he like flick knives and
Does he have a
and
stun baton?
he has a stun. Yes, 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 sir. He has a range of stun batons. He has stun batons for the ladies and big heavy duty ones. But like if you look at any of them, none of them are particularly good value. Not value. None of them are particularly good quality. But they work.
I will point out the lack of value, and I can speak Thai
Oh,
back and
oh,
forth with him,
shit. Oh, that's not good. He drops the price when you speak Thai.
and I'm just very small.
Well, he has a range of different stuff. He finds something that he hopes that would appeal to you, something manly but light, and yeah, you can just buy it at the regular price.
I will do that.
All right. Happy doing business with you. He hopes to see you again, and he will try to get some explosives in stock for you, sir.
X.
Andre comes home with a stun baton and a silencer. Picked him up while he was getting some laksa.
How much would it be for like an appropriate cage for like a sea snake?
Depends how appropriate. You'll have to describe it to me because they'll 250 if you know if you go to a pet store, snake cage $250 New. All right, I guess it's 250.
Because I'm looking for something that's portable and will keep the snake comfortable. That's sort of my thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's what this thing is. It's portable and comfortable. You know what a guinea pig cage is, right? Or
Yeah.
a mouse cage. Imagine one of those, but this thing is about 1.5 meters long and about 40 centimeters wide. It's got air holes. It's durable plastic. You can drop it and it won't fall apart. But it's really nothing more than a glorified mouse hovel. You know, it's a bit of plastic with a lid, and they want 250 million for it.
Let's go to the criminal content. So I'll ask everyone like the party what they think of this.
Andre does not have opinion.
It's a bit big, isn't it?
I mean, we
And
don't want
also,
to
how much
like
did you say that cost?
cramp the snake or anything, do we?
Just wait. This is for the snake.
Isn't it?
Would be. What else would you put the snake in?
I like the
PVC
PVC
pipe.
pipe option because it's free and discreet, and we don't have to haul a snake cage on a buy, or like we don't have to haul it on a plane to an island, then on a boat, then to another island, then into a guy's compound.
With everyone asking us what's the cage, or even if we have to run away with bullets flying after us with a gigantic snake cage.
We can try the pipe, but isn't it open on both ends?
No, you'd close it.
Well, yeah, they sell cats.
Okay, shall I go and get one of them then?
All right.
Yeah.
Can we pay 20 million and get it sealed?
Just make sure you have some holes drilled in it. Get it threaded. I mean, pay the extra 10 million, have them threaded on both.
Can
Ah,
we
so
get lead
you can.
pipe?
Lead pipe.
Won't that
Yeah.
poison the snake?
No, but just like he's not gonna be in it that long. But like steel cast iron pipe.
Why?
instead of
Well,
PVC.
I'm just curious about why PVC, why metal instead of
Because we might
PVC.
because we might be getting shot at.
Yeah, gotta keep it safe.
I mean,
I
Be
don't.
heavy.
And also generally
If we're getting
cast
shot
iron
at,
pipe.
shit's already gone. horribly wrong.
Yeah, we're overthinking it. We're not getting an armored tube for the snake. That's ridiculous.
Okay,
And
so we'll
custom
get a
also
PVC
tends to have
tube that's
screw
been
caps.
like, so you can screw caps onto either end or both ends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
along with some air holes.
Hmm.
Oh, one thing I should probably like when I was googling the snake, like what exactly made it awakened? Like, can it do anything, or is it just sort of vaguely magical?
Arctic actually timed out. It's just us here.
Oh, we did. Fuck.
Yeah.
That
He's just having a spiking
fucker.
problem.
So I'm hoping, like, once we get to the snake, I can use my animal handling to like get it pretty easily.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe you can
Just
send your rat
don't
handle
botch
to
that.
figure it out. Just be like, hey buddy, wait in the end of this tube and like put it up next to the snake. Just sacrifice your little buddy.
Just take the cap out when the snake goes in, and then just trap it in there.
What if the snake gets hungry?
Find a rat we
Feed
don't
it.
care
It's-
about.
Again, thinking.
Seems to be
Yeah, we
back.
should.
Hey.
Wunderbar.
I heard the question: can you spend 20 million to get it sealed? Look, not really, because PVC piping is a pretty simple fucking invention, right? And this stuff is strong. You can get a nice tube of PVC for 10 million. Some tiger goes over to his neighbour's house, breaks off his home pipe, breaks it at the bottom, and brings it back to you. Here you go, sir, 10 million. But to actually get some lids, you might have to get a little bit more creative with it. Like if they can give you a couple of lids for 10 million, that's no problem, and you've basically got like a post pack. But it's not going to be any to your local post office and getting one of those cylinders that seals with plastic, right? That's basically all you're getting for 20 million. So that's fine, you can do that, but and it might even work. It's only a snake. It's not like it's got some way, like it doesn't have hands, right? But is that going to be enough? No.
I mean, this
You
is
might be better
this
off
is a
with
12
some.
this is a 12,000 yuan job, and we're like, should we spend 250 for a proper cage?
Well, I mean,
The
Can't we
problem is
just-
not the expense of the cage. The problem is hauling like a full-size cage, like
The size of the cage,
through
would it
several
be
items on
difficult to
unending
carry?
filtration.
Andre, if you can describe to me like what you want the plumber to make up, then what sort of things do you want this PVC sealed with? What's it look?
I want 9 centimeter diameter, 14 gauge, 1 meter long, and I want like the screw caps that go on the end of it on either end.
Right, screw caps.
And I
Yeah, no
want-
worries.
6 holes at 5 millimeters drilled down the.
Yeah, that's fine. He thinks that this is worth 75 million, but he'll put steel caps on the like lids will be made of steel or tin or something, galvanized metal. There'll be air holes. And the dimensions you gave me sounded like the thing's just about freaking bulletproof. Like you could shoot that with a 22 round, and it's probably not even going to hurt the tubing from. Is that the sort of strength that you're looking for?
I can honestly say I've never seen PVC pipe shot with a round.
I assume
So,
the idea
I
is
don't
that
know.
you don't want like a ricochet to like kill the snake.
I mean, this
But-
this sounds like it's pretty thick.
It
Why do you
it
think
is.
I'm going to kill the snake?
That's fine.
It-
75 million. He'll do it if you're happy with that.
Yeah, I
Are
can
we-
do that.
Are we
Oh,
there
so-
with you?
All right.
Are you going to keep hold of the pipe, or shall I have it?
I don't really care.
All right.
One thing I asked earlier, I didn't realize you timed out. When I was
Sure.
googling the snake earlier,
Yeah.
does it have any actual specific magical abilities, or is it just
That is a good question. And you got 3 successes. It didn't tell you a lot of information, but it did say that they have a meditative effect on people around them and other animals around them. They They are known for their calming effect. You put them in like high stress executive offices so that everyone can be more chill.
So he has it in his Zen
Is
gun.
this how it? Is this basically how it hunts? It calms its prey and then kills it.
Exactly right.
That's a bit of a problem. Could probably have my drone do something about that, like have it go in preliminarily and tranquilize it or something.
Well, isn't there we're doing research. The water. Drop something in the water.
Yeah, like Narcojet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or does Narcojet work on? I don't.
It's basically like animal or person tranquilizer, like what you'd shoot a lion with or whatever, you know.
There you
that a
go. So
animal
why don't
would
we just dump that
DMSO.
aquarium?
Yeah.
And you need to get the dose right, or you'll kill it.
Yeah,
Don't
probably
be
use
weird about it.
I mean, if so long as we're not like having to
How
do
about
it
that?
hot, I can probably just put increasingly larger doses in until it seems to.
Or just get a body weight value. Just download a chart. How much would need
those
to
things
be
don't
available?
work
Yeah,
across
I mean,
generally.
that is the intended usage for this stuff, so it probably is actually available. Like, how
And
much
then
sugar
get
it is, for
another
example.
one that would say how much would be diffused in water. Key point is get the one that tells by
This
water
stuff's yeah, this
for the
stuff's not supposed to be
concentration one.
diffused in water. I don't know if that's available. Make a computer roll.
Whew.
All right, 6 successes. Can I find like the amount of Narcojet I'd have to diffuse in water to safely tranquilize a snake this size?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. Naturally, it's going to depend water there is, an ocean compared to a bathtub. But the 6 is a lot of successes. The short answer is yes.
Yeah, I just have like the scale based on
Yeah,
the amount of water, and I can adjust. Okay.
precisely. Like 1
So many
milligram
parts
per
per
10
million.
liters. Precisely.
Yeah,
Precisely.
so just when we get to it, I'll know the proper amount.
Exactly, and so the problem becomes also with killing the snake, because they can only take a certain amount of toxins. But again, you're familiar with those ratios as well.
Got it.
All right, all right.
One more thing I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
find on the Matrix is I'm gonna find like a property registry or something like that to see if I can figure out who owns that island
All right, right.
dude's house is on.
No problems.
Dope.
Brilliant.
Not
You,
even a
you
ton of
discover.
dice. That's just good rolls. Damn.
Oh, that's right. You discover that it is owned by a member of parliament who serves within the government of Cambodia.
Cambodia has a parliament and it's owned by a member of it.
Uh, Cambodia has a democratic government in inverted commas, and the owner of this island is one of the members of parliament. That is, like a congressman.
Okay, so in the same way that like a warlord's president quotation mark.
Precisely, precisely. So, if you think of the president as the supreme warlord, then the owner of this island is like one of his generals or goonies or something.
Okay, got it.
Sycophants. Yeah.
Are the Khmer Rouge the Cambodian government, or is this a separate entity?
That's a good question. And they are not. The short answer is no. They are definitely not. Yeah, same thing.
Okay. got intel on our mark. Did I find the guy's name?
Yeah, I don't have it handy.
Okay, I'll make something up. We'll call him Mal Mal.
Mal
Yeah,
Mal.
Our
Classic.
target is our mark's Mal Mal. Says he's a member of the Cambodian Parliament, but I'm not even sure that's a real.
Hmm.
Should probably expect him to have well trained or at least competent, but relatively loyal security.
Security. All right.
We're gonna have to be careful on this because I'm getting why our Johnson didn't want casualties because we theoretically going after this guy is an attack on the Cambodian government.
Definitely.
Andre will chuckle at that.
So
All right.
we've got containment for the snake. We've got knockout grenades. We've got an arco jet for knocking out the snake.
So what's the chance that an info broker will have like the floor plans to the building? Do I got like that connection?
There's all kinds of shit just randomly available in the Matrix. Like, a good way to make side income as a Shadowrun is to just sell random information you find online. So maybe, but it's unlikely.
So that might be a good opportunity to test out like the like. So how does it even work if I wanted to use that contact?
First, you designate that you're going to use it. So, depending on who they are, you meet up with, and then I think it's just you roll their connection rating times 2, isn't it? Isn't that how it's done?
That's a house rule. Theoretically, every single contact every player has is supposed to have stats, but that's ludicrous. So the
Yeah.
handy house rule is connection times 2 plus loyalty.
Right. So I thought the loyalty only really came into it when, I guess outside of that, basically. Cool.
Yeah, well,
All right.
a rating 6 contact is more willing to do stuff for you than a rating 1 contact, but connection matters more.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So, who is your contact to begin with? What do they? Do you know anything about them, or is it just a set of numbers?
Years ago, he accidentally got in contact with the info broker. He's pretty sure it's a dwarf, and that's the only thing he knows about this person. And the person's
All
name
right.
is Graphite.
Sounds like it's a Matrix contact. So you probably get into their secret forum, leave a message. Graphite want to contact you, and Graphite gets back to you within an hour. He's
He's
he
loyalty
says,
1 to connection 6. So that's why I said he was risky.
yeah, just some dude, some random troll on the internet, Matt Dwarf, whatever you want to call him. I call him a troll because they're all trolls. But yeah. So you hook up with Graphite. You're in a chat room with him. Graphite's Matrix icon is a Warhammer. What's your Matrix icon? What do you look like right now?
He probably has the default one. He thinks he's changed it, but it's still the default image.
Brilliant.
Because he has gremlins.
All right. So you're standing before this graphite hammer, and what can I do for you, pal?
Yeah, I'm looking for the floor plans this time.
Floor plans of a specific building?
Yeah, specific and I'll tell it it's the place in the Kosa Moya. It's owned by
He says,
important guy.
I don't want to waste your time. This might be hard to find, but I'm going to take your money whether I find it or not. That okay with you? 250 million, and I'll start the search.
I guess that's worth it.
All right.
I haven't done this.
Hang in there,
I
pal.
suppose this foot is like a VR world, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
I suppose he'll pick up a digital apple and it'll explode into glitches.
Brilliant.
And then he'll put it down like he didn't touch it.
Excellent. And so the hammer goes through a door, and you're left alone in this room. Give him his roll. Connection ×2, and yeah, you can add I guess the extra dice for loyalty as well. 1 loyalty.
So yeah, it'd be slash roll 13d6 greater than 5.
So 5 successes.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 successes is pretty good. All right. Let's see what he finds. He gives you access to a camera feed of the locale, and so this is what he shows you, Fenway. I think this will work. I'm not entirely sure. First try. Where's Fenway? So I'll dump you down. Inside. All right, cool. So you can see now, can't you?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. So you're able to walk yourself around within the vicinity of this place. Go ahead, see if you can walk yourself around.
Yeah, I can.
All right. Also, you notice that there's a button or a dial at the top of your character. You can spin that to move direction.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the locale of that he's showing you. It's only showing you, however, the main central room. It's not showing you any of the bedrooms or the bathrooms or the guest quarters or anything. And so it's only of limited value, I suppose.
But we can. I suppose this is where the snake is here.
That's the snake right there.
So there's other things in the pond. There's other things like in the thing. Like animals, I mean.
There certainly is. Coral. Yeah. Sharks.
I suppose
Crayfish.
can I take screenshots, I guess, of the thing? Of like.
Yeah, sure.
Can I,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I have gremlins, should I make a check for that, even though it's supposed to be simple?
Oh, it's yeah, so yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make a gremlins. Yeah, it's use computer as a skill. So logic plus computer.
I don't even have that. I'll
So
default on that.
logic -1. Yep.
Logic -1.
So logic, and the limit is mental, I guess.
Yep.
You're unlikely to hit the limit though. Yep. So you work out how to take a screenshot. Congratulations.
I did it. You guys are going to be so proud of me.
Yeah, why is the mage with gremlins doing our matrix-like work?
Because I know Graphite, the info broker.
Yeah,
the
like
graphite.
Geppetto's gonna find, or I called a fucking Geppetto. Godfather's gonna find out you like got VR ported into like a floor plan of the building, and he's gonna be secretly pissed.
He's just like at like an internet cafe because like there's nowhere else he could have gotten this, computer wise, I guess.
So
I
are
think
you
-1 modifier on there twice as well, by the way.
What did I do?
Because you put in the -1 modifier, but the default of skill already
Oh,
puts it
okay.
in, it did your negative twice.
So I got 2.
That's excellent. Thanks.
I got nice screenshots.
Are you done now? Am I
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
done
take you
now.
back?
I've got my screenshots.
Excellent.
I'll get them to print them out.
Okay.
And then back to the group, I'll show them the screenshots from the camera footage.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's a Japanese style house, right? It's a nice house, but it's made in the traditional style with paper walls, massive, beautiful, rich carpets. The whole thing is dominated by an aquarium. We're not talking a fish tank, we're talking an aquarium. And it's big enough to hold multiple sharks that are swimming around with small turtles and parrotfish and clownfish. It's a full-on ecosystem, all kept within glass. But there's no sign of any guards anywhere, nor any people. That's a servant would probably walk through at some stage, carrying a meal of sushi and nori rolls.
So, guys, how do you think I did? Like, I'm getting used to the Shadowrun stuff.
Big fucking aquarium.
Seems pretty relaxed there. Not many people around in that room anyway.
We're gonna need more narco jet.
All right, I'll hit up my contact to see what he knows about people in the area.
Well, tank that size. I mean, we're not gonna be able to trank the fucking sharks in there before we kill the coral snake with an overdose.
Mm.
We're gonna need to find an alternate means of extracting it.
I can probably take care of the shark.
Are we just
Don't
gonna
worry about that.
butcher everything in this guy's tank except the snake?
Said no deaths of people,
Didn't say
and I
no
want
Fair.
to kill turtles.
I mean, most sharks are pretty passive. If you know what you're doing, you should probably be able to just get in there and get the snake out.
You really want one of us to
We'll
jump in a
keep
shark
that as
tank
a-
with the odds it won't bite us?
I mean, I suppose, is that right, Arctic? Like, I thought like sharks are not very aggressive.
You'd need to make a some sort of check,
So
logic plus animal something. Unless
I
you've got
have
biology.
skill critters.
Skill. Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect. That's perfect. So logic plus critters, intuition critters is fine. Yeah, that's right. Like you tend not to put the most aggressive sharks inside your aquariums in the first place because that kind of defies the point. You're more likely to have fairly passive sharks like grey nurses that just swim around and look really scary. But then again, if you want the real deal, then you go the real deal, right? Bull sharks are a popular choice because they are little fuckers that'll kill you.
Plus,
But
it
they're
says
not
in the
very
weight
big.
of the snake, it pacifies everything that's nearby, so it's going to keep the sharks passive.
I don't. Do you have a shark? Is there something you want to tell us?
I mean, I'm quite good with animals.
Look, I can handle anything.
So I can say that again.
I can handle anything tank.
Alright, worst case scenario, we shoot everything in the tank except the snake and leg it.
I suppose once we get to the island, we can get some dead fish. That should be able to distract them.
Put
Is
him in a
anything?
feeding frenzy.
Well, like
I
I said,
don't-
the snakes.
I don't
like
want
the
to be in that
sharks-
feeding for.
I mean,
That seems like a horrible idea.
Why do we
The
need to get
sharks
me.
are
in
going
at
to be
all?
fairly passive because the whole thing of the snake is that the snake.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, that's probably true, but we should plan just in case it is.
Worst case scenario, we can always just break the glass and let everything out.
Aye.
The sharks will lay
Yeah.
there dead weight, and the snake will be free.
Yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine.
That's a lot of water.
Hmm. Ricochet,
Good
did
thing
you
it
still
ain't
need
our
that?
house.
Sorry, what
Ricochet,
were you gonna ask,
did you still need that gun?
Herman? Still waiting.
We're just being busy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just
I'm patient.
That's right.
Bottle of whiskey is still half full.
Alrighty. So yeah, I just let's see what are my connections. Fixer will probably be my best bet. Or I can just use my knowledge on black markets. I'll use my knowledge on black markets to try and find maybe a better gun than a pistol. Just like a decent pistol at least.
Yeah, I'd want a heavy pistol at minimum.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with a shotgun or an automatic.
I reckon
Oh, so-
shotgun.
so will this pistol do? Like, I'm not shooting. I'm showing.
Yeah, no, I said a heavy pistol.
So
Not a
this
pea
light
shooter.
one.
That's a pea shooter. I probably can't even fit my finger through the trigger on that one.
Oh, it was light
For
pistol.
someone without a pistol, you're awfully picky.
That's a great pistol for sneaking in somewhere and for self-protection, but when we're facing heavy security,
You know we're trying not to kill people,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, which is why I want stun ammunition.
That light pistol's loaded with slab rounds. It'll drop a troll.
I'm not actually sure what to load. I just sort of, when I used chum, I just sort of put it in. I didn't know what ammo was. Like, do you have to buy ammo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just in? Is it that just in gear?
Yeah, gear, add gear, ammunition, and there'll be a lot of ammo types. You need regular ammo to like shoot the gun. But there's a lot of like different ammo types that do different stuff. There's stick and shock rounds, which are like they hit someone and instead of like hitting them like a bullet, they stick to them and electrocute them, so they do stun damage.
And everybody laughs at
Yeah.
So what's recommended then for like
Yeah,
good
if you're
ammo?
trying not to kill anybody, stick and shock rounds are good.
All right.
Sorry.
Are those
Yeah.
available in Bangkok?
Yeah, they're like what cops carry and shit like that.
There's
Like,
pretty much
it's hard
nothing
to
that you
call,
can't
but
get here. Yeah, you can pretty much get everything in these streets. Like as you've seen, some of the things you can buy straight off the street. But if you're looking for some tranquilizer ammo, absolutely. Just make the normal rolls, and it should be available. Acquisition rolls. What are they called? What are they called in this game? Acquisition rolls is like.
yeah, they are.
Well, that's what they called in this one as well, right?
How
I
do you
was
make an
thinking that was like
acquisition roll?
Dark Heresy.
What kind of ammo are you looking to buy, Shade?
I just stick and shock and then regular ammo. So
I'm
if we're like
asking Shade,
still sneaking through,
tranquilizer rounds aren't like they're not an ammo type. They're capsule rounds, which only have light pistol ranges. You can't get them for like your sniper rifle.
I've just got that
It's a good
pistol.
rule.
Yeah, they work in like pistols. Sorry, what was the question? I'm going to.
Like, how do I make like the roll to see if they're available?
Oh, if you're trying to get them, you roll negotiation. If you don't have the skill, it's your charisma -1.
I mean, I have negotiation with diplomacy as like specialization.
Oh, fuck yeah, then it wouldn't be diplomacy, but
I mean,
roll negate.
three. What?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Sorry, my internet dropped, so I had to jump on my phone to listen in for a
Oh,
bit.
okay. So you're back now.
I'm
That's
back
good.
now. Yeah.
And what were you trying to buy there, Fenway?
Yeah.
I'm stick and
What's
shock
Fenway
ammo.
trying to? Excellent. Yep.
Uh,
That'll be that should be fine. That's right. Right.
yep.
So is that like
Yep.
320 per one?
No,
Okay.
that's per.
10, I think.
Ammo
It's
is per 10.
$80 per 10 rounds,
Right.
or 80 yen rather per 10 rounds.
If you have trouble with the stick and shocks, gel rounds are another alternative that are usually cheaper and easier to find.
I think I managed to find them.
Yep, you've got them.
Yeah, 320 yen would be buy
I've got to
you
select a weapon category for this ammunition. So my pistol is a light pistol.
Yeah. So it's like like a clip that you put into an automatic
And I'll
weapon.
buy some. I'll look for some regular ammo.
That's it. You can buy that straight off the street.
Could I try and find a heavy pistol for Ricochet?
Yeah, absolutely. A Ruger Warhawk, you can buy them straight off the street.
Ruger Warhawks are revolver.
It's like a Magnum.
Okay. But
also
I
the-
guess
Not exactly a quiet gun.
yeah, something. I mean, it would be a. Yeah, that's what he asked for. He asked for a heavy gun. Yeah, that should be alright, I guess. I'm not sure how much I know about pistols. It's not really my knowledge skills.
You
Something
know
like
what a
an Ares
revolver is,
Predator.
though, right?
Ares
Yeah, it's
Predator,
a-
pretty common, a little bit more expensive. Browning Ultra Power would be fine. They're also usually
Yeah.
pretty ubiquitous.
Yeah, you can get a
Ares
Browning
Predator is
Ultra
pretty
Power.
much the stereotypical Shadowrunner pistol.
They can get you an Ares Predator, but they have to get a guy who knows a guy. You'll have to pay an extra 25% for the Ares Predator.
Nah, only 15. I mean, that's pretty pricey.
Be 900 Neon for the Ares.
I mean, I'm trying to barter, but if it's not a barter situation,
You can go ahead and try. Yeah.
The Ruger Warhawk
so-
would be fine as well, then.
I'll try and barter this one first. So yeah, I'll try and get the Ares Predator, but I want to get it down a bit. 25 is just too. It's too much just for that. I mean, we're talking a bit. That's a bit much there. So how about we put that back down to 15% increase instead.
All right, go ahead and make a roll.
We got bargaining. Five successes.
They won't drop the price, but they will hook you up with any sort of accessory you want for your Ares Predator. Smart gun link, laser sighting, anything, whatever it is that you want, extended clip, custom stock.
Anything?
But they won't drop the price.
All Ares Preds have a smart link. He's trying to rip you off.
Anything?
Whatever,
I mean,
you
I would.
know.
Do I make like an intelligence check to see if I know what I could do with that, or if I'm?
If you just well, you can just ask the other players. That'll be fine.
The other gun guys with
okay.
you, I assume.
I mean, I probably take Miles with me. Ricochet with me because it's his gun. So
Nah, I reckon he's trying to rip you off.
You don't want a
Mm.
fucking silencer?
I was gonna say fucking get proper mad shit on there.
If I'm shooting, I think we've already been made.
Fair. Alrighty.
I mean, not necessarily.
All right. So he wanted a 25% increase, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah, about 900
18%.
Neon.
Ares Pred with a silencer would be good. Yep.
The silencer's going to cost you another 900 anyway.
All right. Okay. So you're happy with that? You happy with that, Ricochet?
Yeah.
All right. 1800. You have a silenced Ares Predator.
Alright. Do you need
Comes with
help with that?
comes with a really shitty little holster, like for free, but at least it's free. Like basically a toy holster, little cowboy thing.
I just realised
But it
that
works.
beast spirits come with animal control. So could I bind like a beast spirit and then use that to assist, like that to control the snake?
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a plan. Once we call up a beast spirit, ask it to work its magic.
So what I mean, I know your characters don't know anything about summoning, but I'm asking players here. Would it be a
Yep.
better idea to
Yes.
get a one and bind it, or just summon one with there?
You could probably summon it on the fly.
So you think that would be a better idea?
I mean, the cool
Up
thing
to
with
you.
spirits is they last until sun up or sundown, so you don't have to wait until you're mid-mission to summon it. You can still summon it before we start the mission, as long as the sun isn't going to rise or set mid-mission. and then you can call on it while you're in the mission.
Okay. And suppose you only bind if you need it for longer than that?
And then binding lets you keep them past the sun up, sundown restriction. And get more services.
Okay, sounds good.
All
I'm trying to
right.
fill out the character sheet for spirits, and most of it is just F, so I'm not sure how to do that.
It's whatever force you summon it at.
So it
Yeah, I mean,
changes.
you
So I
wouldn't
guess I'll
summon it
I
now
guess I'll
unless
add
you're
its.
planning to bind it.
So I assume I'll just add its force as a modifier whenever I summon them.
Well, it depends what you want. Like, if you want something to fight, you're gonna do like a big fuck off, force 6. You want something to use something like critter power against a relatively small creature, so you could probably get away with like a force 3. Which the big difference on there is how much damage you're gonna take summoning it.
And whether you're successful.
And the character sheet, should I just put it in as a PC character, or should I put it like as a grunt or like a sprite?
I would put it in more like a sprite. Being that sprites are based off of the spirits.
Because when I set sprite as like data processing and firewall, which makes me think that's not what that's supposed to be.
No, it's not a sprite. Sprites are for
Technomancers.
technomancers.
Okay. Is there any more prep we want to do, or should we meet up with our plan?
I
Let's
want to
do
do
it.
one last thing before we go. I'm gonna take a bit to summon a spirit of man, and then try and bind it, just so I have him on the fly if I need him. Summoning for dummies. Summoning.
Does he need a lodge for that?
Binding a spirit? I don't think so.
I didn't think so. Haven't come that across
You
anywhere.
need, for binding, you need reagents.
Which
Yeah.
I do have. So alright, spirit of man. So I'll do force. Do that. We'll go 6. Fuck it. I'm in the safety at the moment, and it shouldn't be too bad. I would have done this like a little bit before we leave, not right before.
Takes a couple hours anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
summon
force
it up
6.
and make that roll to get the number of services it owes you, and then you make a second test to bind it.
Yeah. Summoning spirits. That'd be.
Yeah.
Okay.
What force are you going for?
I was going for 6. 6 is like a moderate area, isn't it? Or is that pretty powerful?
It's about as powerful as you can safely summon.
Well, it'll be 6. I'll summon it at 6, but it'll be a force 7 because
Yeah,
of my
you have the
thing.
quality.
Yeah. So 7's not too bad. That's like a good number.
What? No,
Yeah.
7 is a fucking beast.
Oh, okay.
Spirits of man aren't particularly, as far as spirits go, particularly strong. But that's still a very large. And one of the things as a mage you would want to do is check this place for astral security.
Oh, like the building.
Yes.
Yeah. But as in not the one we're in right now, the one we're going to, correct? Or do you mean the one
Yes.
we're in now?
No, when we are on the job,
Yeah.
before you let the rest of us go in there like assholes,
Yeah.
you
we
might
check
want to
for
astrally check it out.
perceive. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. I was more worried about that later once we get there.
Yeah.
Alright, so summoning my summoning skill plus magic. It's plus the force. So summoning is 12. Oh no, that is the thing. Skill rating. Okay, so 12 total. 12. Yep. So 7 successes on a Spirit of Man. Force was 6.
Yeah, and it rolls 6 dice to resist.
7.
No, he has that quality that makes it call up at a
Spirit
Yeah,
force
affinity.
save any summon.
And it resists with the extra dice.
It does? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not rolling extra
quality
dice.
does is means he only takes the stun damage as if it was force 6, but it still resists at force 7.
I thought the amount of hits it got was the amount of drain he had to resist.
Yeah. So
It-
the quality says that he rolled an extra dice to resist, but then when they're summoned, they're 1 force higher, but their count is being summoned at the force that he selected, which means it affects the threshold of which he starts taking physicals.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Because normally he'd take physical for a 7, but he'll only take stun because of that quality.
Okay.
Right. Gotcha.
I'll go ahead and
So-
roll resist then if nobody minds.
So, oh, that's the resisting.
Yep.
Yeah, so it owes you 2
Two s-
2 favors.
2
2
services.
favors.
And
Yeah.
you have to resist 10 drain.
Alrighty. Where's my resisting spells? Resisting with will and charisma. So slash. Only 3 successes.
7 stun damage.
It's alright. I did this before. That's why I did it.
What have you done to yourself?
I just tried to. I did summon a Spirit of Man.
Right.
It was it's a 7th, force 7, and I took. So what was it? So 9, 8,
3.
7. So 7
Hey.
force. Sorry,
Yeah.
10. How many? How much force damage? Fatigue did I
You were
get?
taking 10
Yeah.
stun. Because of your 3 successes, you only took 7 stun, but a good
Oh,
amount
okay.
to get rid of that.
Cool. And I did this.
Isn't it physical damage since you cast it above force 6?
No. He's summoned a force 6,
Right.
and then because of his Spirit Whisperer edge, it turns up at force
Oh.
7 anyway.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. All right, so you've just summoned a force 7 man spirit. It arrives in the form of a ghost. It's got a pocket watch and it's dressed like an Englishman with a monocle. What would you like your spirit to do?
Were you gonna try to bind this one?
I was, but I just took a lot of drain because I take more drain if I try and bind it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly how many stun boxes do I get.
I think you just took 7.
I did take 7, but how many
you-
have I got total? Probably
It's
not a
8
lot.
plus half your willpower.
Right. Okay. So 5 would be 3 if we're running up or down.
Yeah, we round up. So you have 11 stun boxes. You just
11.
took 7, so you have 4
Fuck.
stun left.
Wow. You got a hammer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
it
see
rolled
straight.
really well on the drain resist.
No, I did not.
Fantastic.
13 dice, only 3 succeeded.
Or yeah, it rolled really well on the summoning resist, and you flub the drain resist a little bit.
Yeah. That was actually a really good roll on its part.
Yeah.
Fuck, I probably can't. No, I won't try and bind it.
Well,
For
you
now,
got
I'll.
until
The drain
sunset
for
or
binding is
sunrise.
worse as well because they roll they
double.
roll more dice to resist the binding. So yeah, he
Yeah.
only rolled 6 dice to resist being summoned. He'd roll 14 to resist the binding, and you'd be taking double his successes in drain for that.
Yeah. So do I have time to rest while he's summoned before sundown to then like get a bit of rest in to get rid of the stuns so then I can bind him, or not enough time?
When did you summon him?
Oh, should have probably brought that up. I would have I would have done it knowing what endeavor I would have gone into. I would have done it in the morning.
Fuck off.
All right, so
Like
we spend
after.
another night in Bangkok before you do your summoning.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
because we
does,
got 3 weeks. Do one
couple
like the
days
next day in
before
the
we-
morning. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think you specified you were doing this like a couple days before we flew out.
Yeah, a
Alright.
couple days before we flew out. So in the
Yeah,
morning.
All right. So early in the morning, you buy this spirit turns up, and you're going to want to rest throughout the day in order to have them ready to bind before sunset. No problems.
Yeah.
What sort of lifestyle do you have?
Lifestyle was low.
All right. Roll 2 dice. Let's see if the conditions are good enough in your shithole for you to get a bit of rest.
So 2d6.
Yeah.
One
All
success.
right. Your next door neighbors are having a fucking domestic all day long, and they're yelling in their own language. Do you understand Thai?
Nope.
So you don't even understand what they're saying as they start smashing plates against the walls, and you understand bitch, but she's doing the one saying the word bitch more than he is. In the end, there are some gunshots. Do you intervene?
No, not my problem.
All right, you get some rest. Congratulations. You around about dusk, you're feeling okay. You don't know what happened
Sorry.
then.
God. Sorry. How would that be vindictive?
I didn't say
Because
vindictive.
I whispered him because he
Yeah.
asked me to remind him about his qualities. I was like, you have all this shit about like vindictiveness, and these assholes are keeping you from sleeping.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they're being a dick to me, right? Yeah, I guess I'll make a composure test. Composure for vindictive. It would be just my be the
Charisma
same
and
thing as my
willpower, I think. Same as
yeah.
drain.
So we just 13 again. Oh. 6 successes.
All right, you keep your cool and you let them deal with their own shit. And yeah, the police turn up at some stage during the day. You hear the sirens, but you just phase out. And by about nighttime, or just before sunset, maybe an hour before sunset, you rise, have a bit of sin cath, and maybe a few soy flakes. Maybe even get a bit of the pesto tube, hit the button hard enough, a little bit of squirt flavor comes out, and yeah, the monocled Englishman, Spiritman, is still waiting there for you. Oh, whoa, chap! What should we be doing? What? Almost time to go.
I'm terribly sorry about that, but you took quite a lot of me. You see, I've got a bit of a problem that I'm going to need your help with later. We're doing a bit of retrieval a bit later, so I'm going to have to bind you for a little bit, not terribly long. And we're
That's
going to
not
get a
very
bit.
sporting.
No, not quite, but I'm afraid wouldn't be able to bring you in on the fly if I could. Don't worry, I'll release you as soon as we're done, and I'll make it worth your while. Uh, I'm terribly sorry about it. I know it's not exactly convenient. I'm sure you've got better things to do, but
Oh, well, just get on with it, what? And
all right.
make your binding check.
Okay, binding. Skills. My binding.
Got a train to catch, sir. Choo choo. You see the spirit's about to jump on the metaphysical train and get out of here.
Slash roll.
It just gives him a brain aneurysm and then disappears.
So it's his job done.
Ooh, I was
Can
right.
I-
Already got my
That
ticket,
would
sir.
be a use for edge.
Can I? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, can I use my edge?
Takes a
Alright.
bit late for that one.
Yeah.
How do I?
You
so
can
if I use it
re-roll everything
after
that's
roll.
not a hit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
everything.
Just everything.
Yep.
It's pretty bad off 11 dice.
Yeah, I'm sad. Oh, I didn't type roll. Sorry.
No worries.
You can just hit
11.
shift up and it'll do your last to cycle through previous.
Oh, you
commands.
just need to press up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
that's
up a
right.
bit. Yeah.
5
So in this
successes.
case-
That's a bit better.
I suppose I could stick around for a while. What? Go for a bit of a sojourn. See
You
the
need
island?
to resist.
Yeah.
And how's he resist 14 dice?
14 dice.
Woohoo!
Please be shit. Please be shit. Please be shit. Please be shit. 1, 2, 3,
5, 6. You beat
You
you.
resist.
6.
But tally ho, train's leaving. Bye for now. And the screeching of the train's brakes and its whistle reverberates through your head and almost causes your ears to explode. Resist that train.
D6. Only 2 successes.
Crunch. So does that bring you to like one stun? Because you would have gotten all of them back, right? Over the course of like 8
Yeah.
hours, right?
So is it 11?
Is that
I have
how it
11.
works?
Hey, you roll body plus willpower for each hour of rest to see how much.
Is that
stun you
how
get
it works?
Oh.
Okay, cool. So let's start with that. Body plus willpower for each hour. We'll say 8 hours passed.
Skills coming. Body 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9. So roll. Was it 96? That's my body.
Yep, 8
willpower.
times
8 times.
for 8 hours passing.
Okay, so 1.
Yeah, so there's 2 successes.
Two.
There's 5 successes.
3.
There's
3
9.
hours.
That,
3 hours
you'll be
is enough.
fine. Yeah, so
3
after
hours.
3 hours, you feel pretty right. You get up. You're at full hit points when you suffer 10 points of stun damage, right? Out of 11. Is that
So
right?
if you get a good bit of sleep, you can have another crack at binding him before he parts.
But
Okay.
that said, you've just inflicted a migraine upon yourself that almost drove you into a coma, right? Like the whack to the head that you just took from that psychic damage is equivalent to working for 72 hours straight, and just you're fucked. You're not quite unconscious, but you're virtually incapable of motor function.
I'll kind of like sprawl out and fall backwards onto the bed and grunt like, fine. How about this? Just go out towards the. Wow, actually. So quickly, spirits. Do they like of a man? They can't fly, but do they sink when they like step on water and stuff? Like, what's the physical?
No. They can
No?
fly.
Okay. Just go out to the ocean. Tell me what kind of ocean guard they have at this sort of around this island, and I'll just point it out. After it, you can go away. Just
All
do
right,
it
and they
stealthily.
travel at they basically travel at the speed of light, more or less, right? Spirits.
Speed
Is that
of
how
thought.
fast they go?
Yeah.
Speed of thought, yeah. Cool. So we can go out there and then come back to you and perform that duty without within the half hour that he's still of sunlight he's still got. It reports that they have a boat, sir. They have a patrol galleon going around the island, sir. It appears to be armed by ragamuffin warriors, naval officers. They also have a beachhead, sir, and it would appear that they are focusing their protection on the fortress, which lies at the center of the island, sir. Naval patrols and beach patrols, sir.
Did you see any gaps at all in the circuits?
They are mobile, sir, wandering around. Gaps everywhere, sir.
All right, that'll be all. I need to pass out. And he'll kind of just, or before even finishing the sentence, he just slumps and just dead, basically.
Right. So have you got all the things that you need, everyone? You've got your cages and your gloves and your ammunition, your weapon modifications. Are you ready?
Well, I need ammo for my pistol.
All right. You can get what sort of ammo are you after?
Stick and shock or gel.
You'll have to make a roll for those. For the stick and shock, the gel you can get off the street. They'll sell you gel rounds off the
I mean,
street.
I recently bought Stick and Shock, and it's taken back to the same store.
I'm happy with the gel. Gel's
Yep,
got a
no
good grip
worries.
on their ass as well.
Yeah, you can buy them straight off the street. They're military issue. The government is mass producing rubber bullets at the moment for no particular reason, and those extra supplies are making their way to the street.
All right, sweet. I will buy 3 clips worth.
Done.
And stun button. Do they have a stun button?
Yeah, absolutely. They sell you a range of different stun buttons, including a Dora the Explorer stun button, a G.I. Joe stun button, Transformers, all the classics.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thundercats. I'll take Thundercats.
Yeah, the Thundercats one, the Hello Kitty ones are all sold out, but Thundercats are available.
This is now my Thunder button.
Excellent. It has a picture of Panthro on the side. Are we ready to fly?
I think so.
All right.
Definitely.
You take off from the seaside hovel of Padia. You get in your Cessna, in your seaplane, and zoom. How many people we got? Almost too many, but not quite too many. None of you are trolls, right? No one's a troll, right?
No,
Phew.
trolls.
That's good. So that means that we've all got room for our balls. Most of us have balls, I'm pretty sure. You fly through the sky. You fly over the sapphire and turquoise waters of the Andaman Sea. You go past islands, many of which are developed, and a handful of which are still more or less completely untouched. And you make your way down to the waters beside Koh Samui, which is a 24/7 party joint. You land off a more or less crystal white beach, and there are drones that are constantly cleaning and washing the sand, making sure it is bleach white. Up there on the shore, there's some music pumping, boom, 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 boom. There are tits bouncing to the beat. Most of the women are wearing bikinis. Most of the men are just wearing shorts. Lots of beautiful people with bronze bodies and dark brown skin, hair flashing around their shoulders, cheap drinks. Here you are. Welcome. I don't know what you do next, though.
Well,
Party.
No.
I got a way I can get us to our target island. It's not the most subtle option, but it's a submarine.
I like submarine.
So now we're here. Can I get like bait, like fish bait?
If you mean your own submarine, did you bring it with you on the seaplane?
Theoretically, it can go underwater and drive itself here.
Ah, so you didn't catch the seaplane. You drove through the bottom of the sea to get to Koh Samui. You went the long route.
If I'd have had to, it has an autopilot. It can drive itself.
It has an autopilot. It can drive itself. Of course, it's got a fucking autopilot that can drive itself through the bottom of the sea, from the mainland of Asia across to some random holiday island. Of course, it can do that.
Six
Beep beep.
world.
Does anybody else feel like bad things gonna happen by summer?
Your car is waiting for you when you get there, and it's already got the drinks like on the roof. The drinks are ready to fucking go, man. It's happening, and so we have a submarine.
And I'll buy like fish bits to entice the snake with.
No worries, they cost you 25 million because you're a tourist.
This racism, these microaggressions.
You are so white right now. Like your skin is
gets
so
whiter.
English paste white. Yeah. You actually reflect the sun, causing people to pull down their sunglasses.
You should just be more Asian, bro.
Omen's just staring at the girls on the beach with his contacts of magnification, vision magnification. All the boobs bouncing. He's into
some
it.
of them are even real, and some of them are even real women.
Rim shot.
Welcome to Thailand, babe.
Very true. Hey man, boobs are boobs. But we're on a job.
Yeah, but what if they're silicone?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Is that your vehicle, Godfather?
He looks at him with like he doesn't say anything, but like he just looks at him like, "Who the fuck do you think that is?"
Honestly, I've never been here, so it could have been anyone's.
He just sighs and climbs inside of it. It's just like it's his safety box. It's like a child with a teddy bear. He literally puts himself in a cocoon inside.
A strange fellow. Alright. I'll jump in.
Yeah, inside it's like it has the like space storage system of like a fucking submarine or an airplane. Like absolutely everything is also a secret compartment and all this different shit. Like this thing is very clearly heavily modified.
Good to know. I call shotgun.
Oh, so I've only got a pistol.
Alright. Oh, I'll relay what happened. What happened with my spirit? How he did a quick investigation of the outer defenses on the beach and the ocean.
Yeah. Once everybody gets into his truck, Geppetto's gonna open up a case and he's gonna explain. Listen, I got a lot of automated drones and defense systems going. So while we're on the job, it is absolutely critical that you wear these at all times. And he passes out. Like they look good, like they were made by somebody who knows what they're doing, but they're also very clearly like homemade. It's a little pack about the size of a cigarette pack, designed to be like strapped onto a shoulder or something, and it also comes with an earpiece and a pair of contacts. It's like
So
I call these tac packs. They're linked into my drone and gun safe target systems. So if you wear these, they'll register you as a friend.
Do we just put these in a
If
pocket?
not, I can make no promises. Wear it. It's got a camera and an earpiece on it.
Okay, like he's gonna put it on, but when he puts the earpiece in, like it sort of zaps him.
Well, you don't have to use it. I do.
No, I mean like he put it in and it just sort of shocked him, gave him a shock.
what sort of things have you done to this? The contacts. The ones I have are all right for now.
They get low light and thermographic,
Right. Sure.
along with image links, so they have AR.
Alright. Oh yeah, I'll take mine out then for now and put yours in.
Yeah, the pack itself also has a better camera on it.
How do you put custom items into Chutma?
There's a thing called custom item.
Oh,
these
there's an
technically
item
aren't
called
built.
custom item.
Yeah. These are just heavily modified cameras.
All right. So if we're taking the submarine, we can all fit in that vehicle, right? Like that's no problem. It can easily take 6. Yeah. And do we have any equipment that won't fit in there? I mean, the PVC piping is fine. That's easily going to fit. Do we have any, like, I don't know, Gorse rifles, for example?
No, I
No,
don't think anyone's bringing anything bulky.
no. All right. Cool. We drive along the bottom of the sea. Navigating through the bottom of the Andaman Sea from island to island is not an easy task, but we are assisted by a range of GPS and presumably some sort of sensors as well. Do you have like a periscope or anything?
Not specifically a periscope. Let me double check the second sensor package on this thing.
What about drones that have a battery life of several hours, so you can go to a depth of 200 meters and not lose contact with
I have one of those, but since we're trying to not get spotted by like patrol craft,
Yeah.
he's probably just mapped out a route beforehand and is going relatively blind and wireless.
All right, that's not a bad idea. So let's I guess make some kind of navigation check to plan the route. But I'm thinking like maybe with a +2 bonus or something, since you're doing it on land with maps and properly. But I guess it's navigation plus intuition, logic,
Yeah.
navigation. I can never really separate the two. That intuition and logic.
Yeah,
Probably
the
logic because
default.
it's pre-planned.
Okay. Yeah,
pre-planned.
good argument.
I think normally if you're doing it on the fly, though, it's linked to intuition.
Yeah, I like that definition a lot. The planning it is logical, logistical, really, whereas doing it on in the moment requires your intuition because you've got to make that sort of intuitive decision. In any case, 8 successes is brilliant, and your mental limit's only 9 anyway. You do your best. You pick you're able to the topography of the seafloor has long been mapped in a place like this, and it only goes to a depth of maximum 200 meters and usually only about 60 meters, 80, 90 feet. Not that deep at the end of the day. And you've tested your vehicle to a depth of 100 feet, but never any further. You've never gone deeper than about 30 meters because that's just, I guess you probably never had the chance. So you'll be taking your vehicle into waters likely deeper than you've ever taken before. You cool with that?
I think the submarine mod actually does specify the maximum depth, so he's going to
Does
keep it
it?
above that. Yeah, let me
All
check.
right. Yeah, have a check. Yeah.
I'm really uneasy being under the water anyway, though, because I've heard horror stories about how dangerous the oceans are.
All right. All right. Does your character know about the bends?
No,
All
maybe.
right.
Now he's even more
Okay.
scared.
Now you might.
No,
You should.
I've just heard horrible nightmares of things like krakens and sea monsters and shit.
Yeah, well, that's all. That's all fair. That's. I mean, they're out there. They're definitely out there. All right. So while we're finding out the depth that our submarine tank can go to, we start rolling along our preordained path. Um, is there any particular time we want to arrive?
probably aim to arrive at night. It's 100 meters max depth, by the way.
That's cool. That's good. 100 meters is a
So he'll
yeah. You
keep
can
it
do
about
that.
90.
Yeah, yeah. It'll take you longer to You'll have to go around basins and stuff like that. But it's you're not on that much of a time restraint anyway. What's your fuel capacity? How long can you drive for?
A significant amount. It doesn't really stat that, but I have a couple things that I've got like the Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future, so I can turn almost anything into fuel.
Right. So essentially, 24 because you would need to operate 24 hours minimum in order to do it this way. You can drive 24 hours?
I can probably take a break and let the autopilot handle it for a bit, as long as it's going along a pre-planned route.
Yeah,
I
then
got
you
some
have to
Nova
be
Coke.
that could that
Yeah.
could help. Give your car
Well,
a
I
fucking
also got.
big line.
I mean, worst case, I have long haul, which that's what it does is let you stay out for like 48 hours.
That's not the problem. I'm talking about the car's capacity to drive to operate. There's nowhere to refuel, right? Um, right? Can your car drive for a solid 24 hours without needing to refuel?
The book doesn't really say that. It's
Doesn't really say.
GM
We don't really know. Yeah, I guess we don't really know. You're
It's
probably
a big
gonna
truck, so probably not.
yeah. This could be an issue. Um,
So what do you refuel it with? Like what fuels it?
It has a multi-fuel engine, so it can turn almost anything into fuel. Let me
Like salt water? I mean, we have enough of that.
let me get the exact wording. Sorry about all this.
No, it's no problem. Like, and I'm also a bit sorry about it too because I also want to keep going. It's just it's asking a lot to have this thing operate as a submarine for so long. Um,
With it being
it's it,
submersible, Neo, does it have to drive or can it actually like swim?
It can swim.
yeah, I'm not sure of the fuel capacity of these vehicles. Do they use nuclear fusion engines, or surely they don't use fucking petrochemical engines? Surely,
Okay.
I don't know.
Almost every vehicle in Shadowrun is assumed to be electronic.
All right.
But this thing is a multi-fuel engine. First, a portable plasma furnace is installed in the vehicle that can render small quantities of matter down to its constituent parts. Then the vehicle's
Brilliant.
engine is modified to be able to consume the raw material output of the plasma torch. This allows nearly any matter to be fed into the vehicle as fuel. The
Brilliant.
vehicle with a
Brilliant.
multi-engine can always be refueled as long as there is raw material to be processed.
I'm so glad that we checked this out because now I understand how we do it. So it uses a shit ton of fuel to keep life support systems going, right? And you're providing air and you're keeping out the pressure and you're driving along the bottom of the fucking ocean. Can you imagine how much pressure is on your vehicle at 100 meters of depth? I don't know the math, but it's an incredible amount. And for you to still be able to get traction in the sand while you're at the bottom of the ocean and still provide life support is incredible. But every now and then you come up to an island and you stop and you turn the car off or just put it into neutral basically and you rip the shit out of every palm tree that you find and you just feed it all the palm oil and the car will keep running indefinitely because palm oil is relatively clean, right? We use it for cooking and everything every single day. You just rip out all those palm trees, and there are an unending on these. Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
just
how
to
we do it.
clarify, flavor-wise, strictly speaking, it can like float in water. It doesn't need to like drive along the bottom.
Yeah, perfect. But it can do either, can't it? Yeah. But yeah, you're right. So it could do just turn into a full submersible and amazing, incredible vehicle.
At
All right.
100 meters as well, Arctic, the pressure is about 10 times what it is at sea level.
Is it only 10 times at 100 meters? I thought it was 10 times at 10 meters.
For a Brett, every 10 meters, it's 1 extra atmosphere.
Oh, just 1 extra atmosphere per 10 meters. Right. Okay, it's a lot, but less than I thought it was.
Because you can go down 10, 20 meters without needing like super protection and shit.
Yeah, I've been down to 30. No further than 30. All right. Okay, cool. So, I have a map that puts us around about 60 meters offshore. When you arrive, as per your own directive, you'll be arriving at night time. So it'll be dark. Visibility, virtually nothing. Pretty much nothing underneath the sea at night. Very little visibility. So, is there there are a lot of lights on the shore, and those lights are moving, mobile lights, like a lighthouse, right? Just some of them appear to be automated, spinning 360 degrees, providing illumination out in the sea and on the beach. Some of them appear to be handheld, guys that are just wandering around on the beach with a torch, probably attached to the barrel of their gun, maybe not, who knows? And it's so that's the scene that you've got now. You're a couple of 100 meters offshore. What do you want to do?
Right. One of the mages want to call up a spirit to find us a safe spot to pull up on shore.
Yeah, I can do that. Could I summon like a bee spirit be useful?
You guys can also actually project, can't you? I don't know how that works, but
I can.
Yeah,
that's the
I was
thing.
going to say, you can just leave your body and do it yourself if you don't want to risk the drain.
Yeah, I'll just do that myself. If
Okay, I mean, if it's less risk for you, go ahead.
That being said, being just after nightfall, if you summon the spirit now and you get a few services on him, he can still stick around for the rest of the mission. This would just be his
Okay,
first.
yeah, because I'll be summoning a spirit later anyway.
Hmm.
So I'll summon a beast spirit, and you said like 3 should be enough.
Well, that was to take care of this. If you're just scouting, you probably get away with a 1.
Well, I mean, I can use like the beast spirit for both, can't I?
Yeah.
Oh, because scouting's a remote service.
only if it's outside of your range. How far away from the shore are we?
Yes.
It's
It can
100
Yeah,
meters.
as long as
or-
it stays within 600
Yeah.
meters of me, it's not remote.
Well, that's if you summon a force 6.
Yeah, it's
I thought
equal
the-
to force.
I thought
Based
the
on your magic, not its force.
Oh, okay.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll summon attempt to summon a Force 3 beast spirit.
How big is this island, by the way?
Yeah, I'll measure it for you.
I'm just curious, like Hamilton Island size.
It's about 150 meters, maybe 200 meters broad, and roughly circular. Yeah. I'll
It's a pretty small island.
pretty small island. That's right, with a single building upon the island. I'm considering sharing a picture, but I'm worried that it'll cause me to crash if I do.
Is it reasonably flat, or is it a bit of a hilly, or
Okay, so
Um,
I think did that roll correctly?
okay. It did roll correctly. I'll try to describe the island
Okay.
as best I can. So, the island is roughly circular, partly because there is a second smaller island which completes the circle up in the northwest direction, which is where you'll be coming from by default. The whole thing is surrounded mostly by cliffs. The cliffs aren't particularly high nor particularly steep, but they are still cliffs. They're about 10 meters tall, about 30 feet tall, about 10 meters tall. And these cliffs are where the high tide splashes up against them. So if you've come here at low tide, and the cliffs are exposed at high tide, the water's probably higher, and thus laps higher towards the top of those cliffs. There are, however, beaches, and roughly half of the island is beach, and roughly half of the island is cliffs. They all converge towards a central hill, and built on that central hill, which is almost entirely surrounded by cliffs in and of itself, is a Japanese style building. Omen, are you astrally projecting around it?
I thought we were doing the Fenway was summoning a spirit to go have a look.
All right, no
I
worries.
got 3 success.
Wasn't sure if we were doing both or just one. No worries. So the spirit resists with 6 dice.
I
Is that
think
correct?
it's 3 because it's only force 3.
All right, just a force 3.
Watch you get 3 success.
It gets 3
3 successes.
successes.
So it's a tie. Like who wins?
Spirit does.
Pretty sure, yeah, spirit won't.
Spirit
get
wins
summoned.
ties. Well, he
Worst
services the demons
summoner ever.
So you just take the drain now.
So I've got to resist 6.
Yep.
Oh, I've got to put the modifier in. Worst summon.
So
I'll,
yeah, you suffer two stun damage. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah.
All right. You begin
I'll,
bleeding from the nose.
maybe I will astrally perceive. I'll be right back. I guess I'll sit down so I don't fall over, and close my eyes, and then I'll start drifting out towards the surface.
All right, Omen, up here. This is by default where the party will be coming in. This is kind of the direction that we're approaching, although they are further off the map than this would indicate. Now, where are you? This is you, Omen. Okay, cool. Now, do you see how there's not much that you can see? You know what I mean? That's because there's light up on the beach, and those lights are moving, so I'll kind of move them a little bit,
Every
like
now
blah,
and
blah,
then.
blah, like that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
From where you are, it's basically dark, just
Yep.
say for a few bioluminescent fish.
Okay. And just quick question. I see life forms as like a glowy thing. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
You see
that's
the aura.
basically right.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry, Tim?
Life form. You see their aura, so they will appear as shimmering coloured things, and the rest of the world appears grey and lifeless.
Right.
You cannot see any color of any physical non-living objects. So if you are looking at a stop sign, for example, you can't see that it's red or that it's a stop sign. You can only tell that it's a stop sign because the shape is
It says
familiar.
stop. Oh,
Well,
I
no,
can't even see.
you
There's no
can't see
color
the
at
word.
all.
There's
Right.
no
It's just
color.
like a.
You
Right.
will just
Gotcha.
see an octagon sign that looks like a stop sign.
Cool.
There's a lot of life around here. There are fish in the sea. The island has grasses and trees. It's even the air has night birds and life in it. So it's a living environment. You can move yourself around if you want, and as you do, I'll reveal if you detect anything extra.
Okay. Am I below the boat? Or should I put
You're
myself
wherever you
down on
want
it?
to be. You're astral. These characters aren't even where they are. They're off the screen somewhere.
Okay. So I just plonked down my token to move it already. Yeah, that's.
Do you not have a token up here already?
Oh, I can't see from it. Sorry,
Oh, okay, right. I'll
my
try
bad.
that.
Yeah, I couldn't see. The only thing I could see is.
So it has sight, but there's no light. I'll just
Okay.
give you one. Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be confusing, but that's what's happening here. So now
Yep.
you've got like a meter light that I've just provided for the simplicity. I'll do that to the rest of them as well.
Okay. Cool. And I guess just as I keep moving forward towards the island, I just look out for any signatures, life signatures on a piece of land that are walking around.
Yep, no worries. There is basically a life signature at the edge of most of the light sources because it's a person holding a torch.
Okay.
But you won't see that from the astral.
No, not the light torches. I just
Yeah.
see things. Um, from what I can see,
So is the astral unaffected by the sunlight? There's no light for you to see
Basically,
in
yep.
the dark?
There's no light. Yeah.
Right.
so how do
In
I?
that case, I'll change things a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
like
won't be
if you
able
look
to
at
see
traffic
anything.
lights, you won't be able to tell what color traffic light is on. You'll just see that it's traffic lights. You can't see
Right.
the glow of you can't see the glow of a computer monitor, but you can see the shape of the computer monitor.
Right. So does that mean I can't see anything in the nighttime? Like,
No, you
Well,
should
are
see everything.
you see everything.
okay.
So reload your page. I've switched off the lighting, and maybe that'll be a better representation of what you can see.
Okay.
But like a wall will still block your ability to see through it. You'll just see
Yeah.
this grey wall.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, yeah, cool. Alrighty. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to describe what you see to everyone else, you might do a better job than I did.
Sure. So yeah, have a roughly a circular island, a few slight cliffs of each side, a small island off to the north, and a long beach stretching from the south of the island to the south to east side of the island has a beach around it. The north to the west is more rock terrain, a cliff face. I can't really see people from the direction we're coming. I don't think.
So there are quite a lot of life forms on the beach moving around. Over here in the, if you'll have to probably zoom all the way out, there's a boat that's boat's just cruising around. I won't bother moving the boat, but it's doing a circle around and around. Um, there is only a single life form inside that boat. And there's probably about half a dozen, maybe about 6 or 7 people walking around on the beach, um, yeah, more or less aimlessly. And then finally, there is a building, and you can clearly see the building. Um, the building is opaque. It's actually made up of living paper walls. The building, so you're not even sure if your astral projection would be able to get through it because it's not just physical; it's also alive. A
Okay.
living building.
I just fly back over to where I am currently, over here.
Mhm.
And do I see anyone like kind of near where that position I'm right at right now?
No, but the boat does come straight past there, probably every 3 minutes or so.
Does it go through this little canal, or does it go around the outside if I wait for a second or a few
Goes
minutes?
around, doesn't go through the canal. It goes around.
Alrighty. Do you, that canal's pretty big, I'm guessing. A car could maybe fit in, gauging wise.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. How many meters? Yeah, it's several meters wide.
Yeah, roughly that. Okay. I say to everyone else, there's a channel between an island and a large rock. The boat will go around about every 3 minutes. If we can get into that channel and maybe climb up the cliff face to hide a vehicle and get onto the island unseen.
All right. Should we should we take out the boat? It'd make it a lot easier to get in and out. Only worries if he's got a radio or a biomonitor.
I'm sorry. You want to take a boat?
I said we should, we can probably surface and take out the boat.
Oh, that there is a life form on the boat that would break our contract of killing people. If you would like
Oh.
to.
There's ways to deal with them other than killing them.
Can you?
Do we want to destroy the boat or just sabotage it?
We can just knock out the guy driving it.
Can you just make the boat go away?
I could
Yeah.
make
I mean,
him want to leave, but I'm not sure for how long that would be.
I was thinking more if you could just jam its navigation.
Not that good a hacker, but I could make a shot. I mean, odds are it's not even running wireless.
Wouldn't he unlock security if his ship suddenly stopped working?
Well, we'll see. Geppetto will bring the vehicle up to or Godfather. I gotta change his name or some shit so I don't keep calling him Geppetto. But Godfather will bring the vehicle up to within 5 or 10 meters of the surface, just under. It has chameleon cloaking, by the way, so you can't properly see it.
Mhm.
And he'll try to see if the boat has any kind of matrix signal or something like that coming from it, either from the guy's comm link or from the vehicle itself.
Yeah, cool. All right. Look, it's a nice clear night. There's an excellent matrix signal, and there's virtually no matrix traffic. So you'll get +2 to what was it normally just a computer and logic check? Is that how you do it?
Matrix perception.
Cool. So you'll have an extra 2 dice on what should be an easy search.
Do you have a sensing, by the way, Omen?
I'm sorry, a
Do
sensing.
you have the sensing skill?
Let me have a check.
That's a good question. That's something I should have asked. Yeah, to prompted you with.
I have a yes, skill rating 1, intelligence 5.
So what you
Cool.
can do as well is you can try and sense the aura of some of those people to see if they are potentially magically active or alternatively heavily cybered.
Or if there was a spirit patrolling the beach, or something like that, or if the whole place is like a magical sanctuary. All of
He
these
Right.
things. When you're astral, you should check these things. Sorry,
Okay.
Andre.
He should see spirit, regardless.
If I'm in the spiritual realm, walking around.
Yeah, sensing
But I
is
guess they'll
is
see you too.
interpret thing. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alrighty. In that case, I would have had a look at the guy in the boat, but at the moment, no one else.
Cool. So if you want to make the sensing check, go ahead and do that. And as for the computer check, first of all, yes, the boat is connected to the matrix, and it's also connected to a local node. That is to say that it's being monitored from a central location, along with several other devices at the same time. They're all part of the same local area network. Um, the boat, the gun that the guy's carrying within the boat, his vision, the goggles that he's looking through, all of these things, plus several other electronic devices, are all centrally connected to some location on the island.
All right. Does the guy's icon itself have anything like a biomonitor or anything coming off of it?
He had a smart gun, but not an internal, an external smart gun link. He had the boat itself and its sort of fuel capacities and speed, direction, those sort of technological um, data. And finally, he has a pair of goggles, and the goggles are connected to the smart gun. So yeah, so he's probably got some capability to maybe see in the dark, maybe even see thermographically, something like that. You could just guess at this point, but he definitely has a pair of matrix-enabled goggles.
All right. Probably can't hack the boat. It's wired into a node, and I don't feel like tangling with. If we surface, though, we can probably drop them with that the security office noticing, at least until he has to report in,
All
or we
right.
can sneak past him. I can
Sneak.
probably handle that. All right, then
I would.
I think Geppetto's gonna drop the boat back down and
Godfather.
try to make it past him.
No worries. The boat, like the little, I'm not sure what these sort of boats are called, but basically a military grade landing vehicle, I guess, maybe. It starts coming around, but when it passes by you, its speed doesn't change, its velocity or direction doesn't change, just passes you by, keeps going.
All right, yeah, Geppetto's gonna gun the
Godfather.
fuck. I'm sorry, I just smoked. Maybe it's that.
That's all right.
Yeah, he's
Just
gonna
change your name.
gun Old Ironsides and try to make it through the gap in the security.
Yeah. So, Omen, if you want to give some directions as to, I assume that we've all got some kind of bearing on what's going on up here. These are these lights on the shore. They're constantly mobile. They're like guys with torches wandering around, pointing them in different directions.
So it still looks like they're
Yeah.
alert. They're not like bored, like unexperienced guys. Like these guys know what they're doing and they're alert.
Yeah. I guess that's an intuition check. Maybe intuition ×2, or intuition with some sort of insight skill.
So I'll try,
Psychology.
Well, they're not slacking off. They actually are patrolling, like bumming around, smoking and stuff. So
The short answer is yes. That's right. They are proving to be like they're even flashing their water out into. They're even flashing their lights out into the water, like as if they're expecting a fucking shark man to suddenly jump out at them. They're quite competent.
told you the water is terrifying.
Yeah, there you go.
Cthulhu comes out. And they're like, what are you doing here? Get back on your patrol. And he's like, okay.
We were expecting professional guards though, so this is all appropriate.
They have spotlights on, I think, somewhere up near the main building. The torches that the guys are carrying are nowhere near as strong as the spotlights, which are also casting their light down upon the beaches.
If I was guiding Geppetto, I would have told him to go to, if we're looking at the island, the left side, downwards and around to avoid that spotlight and go to the north behind it.
It's contagious.
All right, yeah, he'll take that under advice, and try to circle around the back of the island. I don't have proper vision, by the way, on my token.
No one does, because we haven't got our torches on. So I'm not sure if you can see. Can you see it all?
I have
I have
ultrasound and a bunch of cameras installed in the vehicle.
I
Yeah.
have low light and thermographic. Personally, once we're out of the vehicle.
I'm
Yeah,
not
right. Yeah, I've always found the dynamic lighting to be kind of troublesome with Shadowrun. It's really kind of hard to simulate. But in any case, maneuver yourself to the position that you want the party to be, because it doesn't look like they're going to detect you.
Godfather, where are you going?
I mean, I'm trying to use the map, but I can't see what's supposed to be what.
Yeah, it is challenging.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I've got no. Yeah, Owen kind of just gives up, kind of giving direction, and just lets you do your thing at this point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep circling around. Just tell me where the good spot to go in is.
That's what I thought. That's what I did at the very start because we were right next to it, just at the very top of the left screen.
Top left. Okay.
Top left, right up, back up here. Then would have gone down this way, and then just into this little gap here.
Just a quick question.
You
with
might be
influence.
seeing things that we are not.
That's just because I can see. I did see where it was from when I astrally perceived.
I'll take control of the party and do a bit of a circuit of the island. Not that there's a lot that you won't be able to see. I can appreciate that, but it will give you some kind of slight indication. Now,
I'm
where he
assuming
wants
these
to bring you
triangles
in,
are all the big spotlights, right?
the triangles are the big spotlights, and the little triangles are the torch lights that
I
are
can only-
flashing.
I can only see through the spotlights and the little lights.
Mm-hmm.
So my character
Because
sits in
we have no
darkness.
lights here.
That's basically all you should be able to see. So I've put
Okay.
a spotlight towards your beach right now, and this is where the you can see that cliff face, right, more or less.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where Omen wants to bring you in. Now that's a cliff. That cliff's pretty high. It's around about 10 meters high, roughly. It's not particularly steep. It's climbable, but it's high. There is a pretty strong current that washes through the part that we're in right now. A lot of foam, maybe some crabs, but this is the idea that Omen had of climbing up these cliffs when the boat has already passed around the island and kept going. Are we cool with this plan, or would we like to do something else?
That does sound dangerous.
Does the island block the boat's view from the opposite direction, like from our backs?
Yeah,
Or
it
does
will.
it come through this little channel?
It does not go through the channel; it goes around it. So you would be pretty well hidden from the boat here, and it does circuits of about 3 minutes. So once it's gone past, you won't see it for about 3 minutes.
All right. Yeah, this seems at least like a decent staging point. He'll bring it to basically like breach the surface with just the top sticking out. And Geppetto will wirelessly open a hatch in the ceiling.
Can you all climb?
I mean,
I got
not
Garen
not well.
harnesses in a compartment here.
I've got climbing gear and I'm a competent climber. Wouldn't say I'm
I
amazing,
have
but-
gecko tape gloves.
Same.
Gecko
Yeah.
tape gloves aren't ideally suited to this environment. They let you stick to things, but because this is potentially like a loose surface, you'll stick to the dirt, and then the dirt will just come away from the.
Be a
They'll
lot of
still help.
salt as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
gecko tape gloves do not work when wet at all.
These cliffs are wet by nature. They got this constant sea spray spraying up against them.
Yeah, can have my drone or our best climber take a rope to the top and secure it, and then the rest of us can strap in and at least safely make our way up.
I'd say probably me or Shade will be the best climber. Maybe
Alright.
Andre. Andre's probably pretty good.
No worries. Andre's got all the garbage bags ready. Double his body bags. Alright, so who's doing the climb, the initial climb?
I can do it.
Okay. Acrobatics is your specialty, as I recall. So the conditions are pretty good. You'll have an extra +1 die because there's a lot of handholds. It's wet, and that doesn't make things ideal. It's kind of cold, but overall, it's not difficult to climb this wall. You get up the top, Andre. Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have my suit on.
Yeah. Brilliant. So in
For
addition
clothing.
to the, oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
In addition to the guys that are wandering around with torches, and in addition to the spotlights, you notice that the hut itself, the building, has 4 turrets. They are double-barreled submachine guns, basically, like a twin-linked submachine gun. They have 4 of these turrets, one on each of the 4 corners of a square building.
I will tap my hand over the camera and then point it at that.
Excellent. So you've now got everyone's got a bit of a live feed of what's going on. It's between the top of the cliff and the front door of the building is a little over 50 meters. You estimate that there are probably 5 guys walking around with torches, and clearly automated security, which is operating 4 different double-barreled submachine gun turrets.
I will secure the rope and drop it down.
All right, the rest of the party should be able to get up. There's a lot of fern and greenery up here that we might be able to hide in, but if they have thermographic imaging on those, then they might be able to see straight through this amount of foliage. Just something to consider.
So we can just move ourselves up onto the green stuff.
Yeah, you're able to climb up with the secured rope, but once you are up there, you might be, as I said, exposed to thermographic imaging.
So
I'm going to.
Are we waiting to deal with that, or are we just climbing up?
Shade, have you got thermal cloaking on your cloak? You do, by the way.
Yes, I do.
Geppetto opens up his cocoon, points to a compartment. He says, take a satellite link out of that compartment. If you can plug in to that drone, or if you can plug it into that turret up there, I can wirelessly hack it without the central node realizing. Then the rest of the team can safely go up.
Roger, Roger. You want to stick a beetle?
He pulls out his own. He's like, I got some. He pops a stick of Patel. So yeah, if you plug that satellite link into the turret, I can hack it without it getting the benefits of being linked into the.
All right.
And yeah, with the invisibility thermal cloak, you can probably get past any sensors.
The conditions are good for sneaking. There's a lot of underbrush, a lot of cover, and the light is relatively inconsistent. Let's see if you can get the timing right on dodging the lights, though. Make an intuition plus. What do you think might be a skill that you could use to second guess when the lights are going to be flashing your way, to predict when the guards are going to have their backs turned?
Can I just make a suggestion quickly?
Sure.
Can one of the mages possibly be astrally projected right now and just
Sure.
observing the guards? That way, if some of them do, say, have thermographic vision or something like that, we can see if there's a sudden change in their activity.
Yeah, sure.
And also, you can potentially, have a better vantage point to keep an eye on the movements of the guards and use that to help guide Shade. You can move very quickly in the astral plane. You can't talk to us directly, but you can come down and kind of appear as a ghostly image for a second and maybe point in a direction or something.
Okay, I didn't know you could appear in the.
You can
astral.
manifest, which means they'll see you as like a outline, basically, but you can't actually directly talk or touch.
Can any mage do this, or is it like a skill you need?
It's a skill.
Any full mage can do it.
Oh, so I can do that too.
You can both do that.
Oh, okay.
So we can have one of us on like this side of the island and another one on the other. That should get most of the island.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So we've got the major is astrally projecting and observing for now, while Shade tries to move up ahead. Make an intuition plus. Do you have any ideas what skill might combine with intuition to predict troop movements and the patrols of?
Perception or tracking,
Yeah, perfect. Either of those are good.
or if you've got ideally small unit tactics, some kind of tactics skill as a knowledge.
Excellent. Security, another great one. Yeah. See, there are so many options. I guess that's really what I'm trying to show. So intuition plus any skill that you can think of. Shade, and if you can't think of a skill, then it's intuition -1.
Yeah, you've got decent tracking.
Tracking's good because they are following specific paths. So you work out their routine, right? You work out their routine, and you're able to second guess where they're going to be. That'll give you an extra total of 3 dice on your sneaking check to sneak up to the main building where the turrets are.
I will have to go soon, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. We're coming to wrapping up in 20 minutes anyway. I always have to go at the end. All right, cool. So up here, you wind your way through the underbrush until you've reached the bottom of the building. Next time, maybe we'll try to spend a little bit less time in preparation, but it doesn't matter now.
Are you showing me 3/4 of a run's supposed to be prep?
I really try to push it along, but never mind. We've got everything we need.
All right, I'm staring.
No worries. So, unfortunately, Shade, there are not 1 turret, but 4, one on each of the corner of the building. And presumably, once you jump up there and try to neutralize one, the other 3 are going to shoot you. What are you going to do?
I mean, if he's sneaky enough, there's a decent chance you won't see him. He's wearing a cloak that's both like a chameleon cloak and it has like special thermal dampeners.
You just rely on your inner Drax to not be seen.
So if I put the device on 1, I'm gonna get shot.
Potentially, like you just don't know, right? It depends how good you are, I suppose. Let me see what you can see. Not much.
It's all black to me right now.
It's all black. Okay, cool. I'm gonna bring up some light. Drones, etc. Okay, cool. Light. See if this works. Stand test light. There we go. Okay. Now I'll see what you can see. Okay, cool. So here you are on the top of this building, right? And there are turrets on either side, or you don't have to be up there necessarily, just whatever. But there are turrets 1, 2, 3, 4 on each corner of the building. You've approached from this direction, and you've got the problem now of trying to deal with these turrets. How are you going to go about doing it?
Hey, Arctic,
Yeah.
how close are these guys on their patrol to where I am?
Somewhere between about 20 meters and 80 meters. Like the nearest guy over here at the moment is 70 meters. There's another guy over here at about 60, and so to you, 50. Yeah, roughly 50 meters apart. It's a pretty big gap, but there's also a guy standing at the front, and he's not. He's just standing there flashing his torch around.
Does it look like any of these guys have the same that box thing that Godfather gave us? Thing
Like
that,
a headset or something.
like a safe key that like he gave us that thing that the target system designates us as friendly
Oh,
to his drill.
That was like a hodgepodge one that
absolutely
Godfather
not.
kind of made himself, I think. So they could have
Yeah.
something that you just can't even see.
No, they don't have anything obvious like that. No. What they do have though is a set of goggles, like a headset. They have an obvious headset. They have a gun that has a torch attached to the gun. They have protective gear. It's like relatively low level Kevlars, not military grade, just armored vests. Um, and they're doing their job pretty well, but they're not dressed to kill. No grenades that you can see. No no nothing. No backpacks. No first aid kits. All right. So Shade. Um, you're at the you managed to sneak up to the building. You can see that there are people inside. Um, there are also turrets on the roof. What are you going to do? I can't hear Billy. Should I? I might
can't
need.
hear
I
him
can't
either.
hear him either.
Oh, no one can hear. Right.
That might just be like microphone activating when it like he breathes or something.
All right. Andre is getting ready to take out a guard. Not. If you're there, Billy, you're going to have to type because we can't hear you. All right. Just type it. Yeah, potentially. Make an extra athletics check to climb up into the position. So I think that's what Godfather's asking is for you to physically touch the turret. That's right, Godfather. You don't want
Yeah.
him to look for some sort of mainframe or something, do you?
Yeah, that's what he asked for, is for him to physically like creep up on the turret, like while its camera's facing the other way or something like that, and physically slot the link into the like USB port on the turret.
Cool. That will require 2 tests. One to get onto the roof, probably athletics, and then another one to sneak, and a fresh sneaking roll since you're basically hiding in plain sight in front of the turrets. So yeah, make an athletics check and then an extra sneaking check. Um, this doesn't seem to be working.
Hmm.
Does anyone have any ideas?
Yeah, Andre's moving towards the guard.
Yep. The guard has no concept that Andre is there. He's good at his job, but he's not that good.
Godfather, do you have any more of those nodes?
The satellite links, you mean?
There's-
Ton of them.
I can cast improve invisibility and get to it as well, if that be needed. Or we can just
mean-
straight up just
Can you guys hear me?
dispose of them.
Can
Oh,
they-
yeah, I
now.
can hear you.
Okay, so you'll need an athletics roll to get onto the roof, and then a sneak check to stay hidden in plain sight, while Andre is stalking a lone guard.
Athletics isn't a skill. With
Right?
gymnastics.
Gymnastics is what we're after then? Yeah. I thought that there was some kind of climb. Is it climbing is the skill, is it? I don't know.
It's
Is
a
it?
special. Climbing's a specialty of gymnastics.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll try to remember that. So a gymnastics test. Oh, excellent. You get up there with ease. And now one final stealth roll. I've already rolled the sensor rating to see if they see you. So go ahead with a final stealth roll, a sneaking check, and you've remained hidden. You managed to insert the back door control mechanism, satellite link into the turret, and it comes online for you, Godfather.
All right. He's going to attempt to hack it. The way this works is like the downside to running a node for a bunch of devices is that if you can manually access any one of those devices, you can hack it without the defense of the node.
Yeah.
But if you get marks on it, you also get marks on the node.
Okay.
So he's going to be hacking against, I think, the devices, just device rating times 2.
No worries. You have so no worries. I'll GM roll the defenses. Okay, so go ahead and try to hack it, and I've rolled its defense. You beat it by 3, so that's 3 net successes. You're in.
I'm in. Yeah, he's basically going to send a command to not fire, essentially, and then ping the team, go, go, go. Turrets are down. Andre, feel free to take your.
I'm so happy.
All right, Andre. So, what's the bonus for a guy that doesn't know that you're there? How does that work?
No idea. Never done it.
No one knows. All right.
I think
He doesn't
You-
get a defense test, so you just make your attack roll and all your hits get added to your damage.
Uh-huh.
oh shit. Fucked up. I done fucked up.
He has an armor vest. Is that like armor rating 6?
I think it's armor rating like 9.
No, we'll go with 9.
Armor vest is 9, yes.
Excellent. He has an armor vest. Not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna edge that. And it's I probably actually do that, but it's negative 5 AP.
All right, so it goes from 9 to 4. He still has 4 armor and 3 body, so I guess he'll resist with 7.
Yep.
So reduces the damage by a single 1.
So that's 8 stun.
8 stun. All right.
Plus your 4 net hit.
Oh, so 12 stun.
Takes him out. His gun falls into the ground, and the torch falls with it.
I will strip off his headgear and comlink, or whatever the headgear is attached to.
Yeah, it's a set of goggles that's attached to a kind of like a combat helmet, part of his armor vest, more or less. And it's not a very chunky thing, but it is relatively protective. And as soon as you put onto it, yeah, you hear a guy just whistling, just casually.
Does he have any kind of restraints or anything on?
He has no restraints, no, but he does have a camera link within his visor, and the visor is currently showing several other camera feeds. They're just flashing around on the beach. No grenades, no restraints. Got a belt. That's about it.
I will take his belt and use it to suspend the helmet from something so that it's still bobbing around there.
Perfect. All right. So the torch and the helmet, they sort of bob and flash and look relatively normal, if a little bit drunk.
And he doesn't have a comlink or anything?
The comlink's built into the goggles, yeah.
Oh, that's. Can I count exactly how many camera feeds there are?
Yeah, there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5, including the one that you're broadcasting yourself. So 4, it'd be a square of 4.
I will relay that information over text. And astral perceiving and astral projecting are 2 different things, Omen.
Oh, okay.
So
Projecting is what I'd be more talking about.
yes, if
But
they are
nothing
mana-based spells and they are against other dual-natured entities.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
So, like, you could hit me if a lot of the time.
Okay.
All right. Well, with one guard down and the turrets out of action, the party is able to scale up the hill and get onto the beachhead. I guess we'll leave it there for a week with the next stage of the infiltration ready to pop. There is a front door guard, that's right, and he's not walking around. He's just hanging around.
I guess everyone can say goodbye then.
Thanks for recording, everyone. Carrick, and thanks for anyone who watched in the future.
Okay, goodbye.